Hello, listening people.
G'day, mates.
I'm not Ryan.
And I'm also not Ryan.
But you're also not me, because I'm Bartek.
And it's me, Luke Peverelle.
Yes, and you're listening to Luke and Polish presents Unappreciated Masterpieces.
Do you think we're going to have to trademark that name?
We can. I mean, we've already done 3 episodes, and well, this is the 3rd episode in a row that we're doing.
Oh my god.
Yes, we thought Ryan would be back at this point, but then, well, what did I say last week? He was trapped on an island waiting to be saved?
Something about a jet-propelled monkey, I believe.
Yes, well, this time, he was saved by, the jet-propelled monkey.
Ah.
But, he made a time paradox, and he accidentally said that the square root of -25 was 2z, when it's actually 5i, either positive or negative, and that just... It did like a divide by 0 kind of thing, so he's kind of trapped in a calculator or whatever.
Well, you know what they say, a stitch in time saves 9.
Yes, but hopefully he should be back next episode. But, yeah, it's going to take a bit of time.
Indeed.
So, Spit and Polish presents. This is a show where we watch a movie that has been...
Criminally underappreciated.
Criminally underappreciated, sort of left behind by time in some circumstances. And, this time we are doing a movie that is related very heavily to the movie we did last week.
Indeed.
Luke, ask me what movie we're doing this week.
Bartek, what is the movie that we are doing this week?
The movie that we are doing this week is Gang Dzikich Wieprzy.
What does that mean, Bartek?
You do not speak Polish, so I will tell you. The movie is Wild Hogs. Clap, clap, clap. That's what we just did.
Yep.
This movie is made by the same director as the movie we did in the previous episode, Old Dogs.
Ah, and here we are with yet another animal-themed title. However, you're in for a surprise, ladies and gents.
Mm-hmm. There are no animals. Oh, there's one animal, but it's not a hog.
I'm sorry.
Before we continue, I will introduce our guest now. Ladies and gentlemen, give a big round of listening to our guest, Claudia.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Claudia is visiting us from Ecuador, and we are very excited to have her on the show.
Very much so.
And I'm excited to be here.
Thank you very much for being here.
I only flew here to be in the show, so.
I know.
Yes.
We appreciate your time.
I'm going to be showing that off forever. The fact that we have an international visitor specifically for this show.
Tell your friends about us.
So, have either of you ever seen this movie before?
Absolutely, I have.
Mm-hmm. And what did you think of it when you first saw it?
I thought that having 4 main characters, I think that worked. If they'd had one more or one less, it would have thrown off the balance. But I think 4 was just the right amount.
Hmm. You know, fun fact about this movie, it was inspired by a George Carlin bit.
Really? Then
yeah, he had a show called You're All Diseased, where he talked about the pussification of men, specifically from a thing that is Harley Davidson themed restaurants. And he described it like, these aren't your typical, 7-day-a-week bikers. These are your weekend bikers.
Weekend warriors.
Your dentists, your businessmen, your software engineers. And 3 of the characters in this movie have those specific jobs.
Well, how about that?
Yes.
This is getting eerily accurate.
Yes, so this movie is heavily inspired by one of the most famous stand-up comedians of our time.
Does that then mean that the antagonist of the film is sort of meant to be channeling George Carlin?
Maybe, sort of. It certainly gives its own spin on the whole idea of bikers.
Yeah, we learned a couple of lessons here today, so...
After all, the heroes are those ones who are pussified, as he said.
They are the pretenders, if you will.
Mm-hmm. Claudia, have you seen this movie before?
No, never.
Never, so this will be your first time. So much like the previous 2 episodes, we have a guest on who has never seen the episode, and she will see exactly what makes it such an amazing movie as it goes on.
And it's not just the presence of William H. Macy.
It's not just the software engineer.
No.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to start the episode in 3, 2, 1, play.
Blast off.
There we go, the movie has started. But, every episode starts off with us watching the, opening logos, the studio companies.
What's your favourite logo been so far?
On this show, I don't know if it's been on, but I remember I always liked the Dolby ones.
I think Legendary Pictures is my favourite because it looks like it's going to kick your ass.
So the movie starts off already showing the bikers. Oh, I didn't mention it, but I well, I mentioned it last week, but I'll just restate it. I did see this movie. It was playing in the background while I was playing a game once. And I remember enjoying it, but I wasn't sure if it was me playing the game that I enjoyed, or if the movie really added to it. So
now you get to find out, don't you?
I watched the movie again yesterday, and I can confirm that it was definitely the movie that did it for me. But now I get to talk about why this movie is amazing.
Here we go. John Travolta, it's good to see you again.
Yeah, so we're already establishing here that they are friends, because they each do it, not to everyone to everyone else, but they all do one fist bump between... Well, rule of three. There are three fist bumps.
And I'm surprised they're all able to fit on the road like that, to be honest. Oh, that's William.
So then you're establishing that his character is a complete one, I guess.
Yeah, the butt monkey. There you go, Bartek. There's a trope for you.
Mm-hmm. Yes, so we've established that they're friends. They start off, really cool, but Willie here gives us a little bit of a we're kind of goofy. Yes, he's very much the comic relief. And the movie starts off, it introduces all the characters one by one.
Not unlike Reservoir Dogs, except they didn't introduce everyone.
Yeah, Mr. Blue, what's his story?
Yeah, well, he's deader than Dillinger.
So, the first person mentioned was the dentist, Doug. Tim Allen, he's back.
And that's all he's eating today.
The last episode Ryan was on had our first Tim Allen movie.
It was pretty great.
Shaggy Dog?
Yes, indeed.
Fantastic.
It had an insane performance by Robert Downey Jr.
Yes. So Tim Allen, he pseudo-presented the Oscars the other day because he was Buzz.
Indeed he was. His best role to date.
Yes. And this movie, it's going to be sort of hinted at in a review later on, but this movie does have a Toy Story reference all throughout it.
Really?
Tim Allen voiced Buzz, and John Travolta's character's name is Woody.
Okay.
And it is a Disney movie, so it's allowed.
Can I just say that in the previous scene when he wanted to grab the bacon, his son is the one telling him that he can't. So is there some sort of imbalance of power here? I want to know more about it.
Well, yeah, probably this isn't so much the pussification thing, but it is definitely an emasculation.
Indeed.
That's a big conflict of all these main characters. Not so much Woody, but his life is falling apart.
Yeah, you can tell he's not enjoying himself. He remembers a better time. Yeah. He's got that nihilistic smile on his face.
So we're probably showing us how each of these characters is emasculated throughout their normal lives, and then how they try to regain their masculinity throughout the movie.
That is a general theme throughout the movie, yeah.
Okay.
With Doug, the first guy we saw, he's probably... his life is decent, but it's like he's not the wild person he used to be, and that's sort of his thing.
It's midlife crisis.
Now, this guy here, Bobby, he's probably the most emasculated.
You can tell because his wife is domineering, and
his wife, daughter, and mother-in-law all don't really respect. Oh, and I forgot he's got a daughter as well.
$2.
A car alarm that shits. There's an image for you, ladies and gents. You can use that
Oh my god, those boots.
Oh, Jesus Christ. How many polar bears
did she...
You look
like an Eskimo hooker. That's a...
kill? Oh, wow.
Yep.
Dad, you are so lame.
Yep, and she's never seen again.
Really?
Really?
Oh, yeah, only the wife is seen throughout this movie. The rest of the family, they're just one-scene wonders.
Well, she certainly sold that scene.
Yep.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think it's great that they didn't need to put them all throughout the movie. They just gave them a couple of lines, and those were straight up the parts of the movie that they sold. And I think it worked.
They represented the hardships that he faces in his everyday.
Yeah, and it brings up that even though he's unemployed, he's writing a book. They never mention the book again, but at least they've given us something about him.
Yeah, he is an educated man.
Martin Lawrence.
Is it just me, or is she, like, the words look supporting, but the look on her face is not?
Well, ultimately, she wants what's best for him, but it's just her attitude towards him that's sort of the antagonistic element in his life.
Yeah.
So, like, she's saying right now, I got you your job back. I got you the appointment, and it cuts straight to him at the job. So,
yeah,
she definitely loves him. I certainly don't doubt that.
I guess so.
There's no subplot of anyone cheating on anyone in this movie, so family values. It's we're
not here to fuck around.
Yeah, it's not like the next movie in this director's repertoire, which is Old Dogs, which very much is about the family, whereas this is about taking a break to find your inner man, inner wild person. Your inner wild.
Your inner wild.
Yes, a bit better than the actual movie Wild with what's her face. the blonde one.
Yeah.
Oh
that
yeah,
one.
Reese Witherspoon.
Reese Witherspoon. Thank you
Yes.
for remembering the name.
Okay. Dudley.
Dudley.
Not Dursley.
That is
Macy.
Macy. Yeah.
Macy!
This scene is how you say hilarious. I think this is a really funny scene. Also, it starts off the Apple product placement.
Oh my god, look how old that laptop is.
Yeah,
What
but
year is this from?
this movie is from 2007, so 9 years ago.
A lot can happen in 9 years.
Yeah, we were like 14
Yeah.
back then, Luke.
Open int. Oh my god, it's voice
Internet
activated.
open.
Mm-hmm.
They thought that'd be all the rage.
Yes, but if this movie has Mac product placement, why isn't he using one? Because it's faulty.
And now we have some granny love.
Yeah. Don't you love it when you Google something and then of Granny's voice just keeps saying inappropriate things off your computer?
I also love when I am tearing the computer apart, and that doesn't. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Coffee is
Yeah.
the
Now,
computer's natural predator.
Remember, people, Apple computers don't do this. Wink, wink.
There's a cat,
Yeah, he's got a cat,
and it's called Icon.
iCat, and it never reappears again. It's
Ah.
yet another one scene wonder.
You know what? There are a lot of good characters in here that are not coming back, and that's irritating me.
In Doug's one, it's just the patients, but they're not, major characters at all,
Yeah.
like the cat.
Not like the cat.
And now we've got Woody, the last
You're
one.
broke.
So he was the most successful of the bunch,
Okay.
but he's broke now, no money. His wife is divorcing him.
The supermarket apparently.
Yes,
Oh, in
and
italics.
he's going to have another argument in the next scene with a very serious actor. So his life, it's not so much that he's not having a good time, is that it's pretty much falling apart for him.
Well, when you're John Travolta and you spend everything, you're going to have a bad time.
Well, his religion, well, let's not get into that. We'll get sued.
Yeah.
Maybe.
And, well, you would get sued. I would go
By
somewhere else.
association.
We just guess.
Yeah.
We don't
I'm
own
strictly
this.
freelance.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, well, by association, you'd be,
Bartek.
your name would be written down.
You wouldn't sell me out, would you?
I wouldn't sell you out, but they're gonna. I'm not telling them to sue me.
I thought you cared.
I thought you were.
Yeah.
Here's the serious actor. It's Toby, the kid who rakes people's yards for $10.
It'll take hours, he cries.
Luke, would you rake this yard for $10?
What's the denomination?
That's the word.
What kind of... Whose money is it, like, country-wise?
I mean, it's John Travolta's.
Alright, it's American money.
So it's American money.
All
so
right.
it's a bit more than Australian, so you'll be good.
Yeah, I will be making probably, like,
Like 12.
12 even.
12
An extra
whole
$2
dollars,
freaking
yeah.
dollars.
And all you have to do is go shh, shh, shh a bit.
Yeah,
But
I get to work out.
a bit's another thing, but yeah,
Play my own music.
be great.
Why?
So
am
now
I here
all-
when I could be raking a yard.
So all the characters have been introduced, but we've got one more little scene with Doug.
And his tyrant of a son.
Who would rather play video games than talk to his father.
Yeah,
Oh.
like all bad
Yeah,
kids.
he'd rather play video games than
Yeah.
play basketball
Terrorist,
with his
this
dad.
one.
Yeah.
But then his friend and his dad, he'll play basketball with
Okay,
him.
he's got a friend. His name is Stu, and it's not STU. It's STEW, as in like
Like
the
an
meal.
stew?
Yeah, it's not a.
Like a,
Look,
like a,
there it
like
is
a
again.
beef stew. Oh.
Yeah.
He can totally dunk this guy. Wow.
Maybe it's supposed to be one of those cool hipster names.
Yeah,
Maybe.
You know, some
like
people,
Tim with two M's.
Yeah, there are two spellings of Stewart. The STUR
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
right,
you
actually.
are
Like Patrick
too.
Stewart. Yeah.
and then Stewart.
Yeah, that is right.
All right.
So
Stand
and
corrected.
you know, in this
it's the
movie,
jacket.
yeah, and in this movie, it doesn't really matter which spelling it is, but the subtitles decided on one. So that shows that this movie will really stand its ground on things. Because
Yeah, it's not going to get pushed around.
if you were to go up to Walt Becker and say, "Hey," but like typing it like Stewart, and you spelt it the wrong one, he's like, "Did you not watch the movie with subtitles? It's clearly the one with EWART."
You could have a big fight over this sort of thing. Mm-hmm. Oh, William.
Again.
Surprised he's not dead yet.
Yeah, especially since he's wearing a leather helmet this whole movie.
Yeah, where is he supposed to be
Why is it
from?
leather?
I believe it's a reference to another movie, an old biker movie. Easy Rider, I believe it was called.
Yeah, right.
So for now, they just like drive around the city.
Yes, they're
Doing-
pretty much every weekend they escape their lives by getting on their motorcycles and going to a bar just to,
So is
masculinize themselves.
he's riding double. That's
Aw.
cute.
Yes,
I
but
see a lot of
So
guys do
sweet.
that.
He's
Yeah.
helping out his friend.
A lot of guys do that for their
Well,
girlfriend.
Claudia, you'll probably enjoy the fact that this movie has a lot of gay jokes. So, and it starts pretty much with this scene
My
right here.
favorite kind of jokes, yes.
Yeah.
Fun for the whole family.
Thanks, Woody.
Thanks, Woody. No problem,
I
Buzz.
feel really safe with you, see?
Has John Travolta ever voiced...
Okay, can I just say that right now John Travolta looks a lot like Marcus Phoenix from Gears of War? If anyone ever played that, I'm just saying.
I don't own an Xbox. You could
I
tell
hope-
from our Snowdogs episode when I didn't know how to get rid of the
Listeners,
time
if
thing.
you agree with me, please send in a comment saying so, because I can't be the only one who sees this.
So this movie was 2 years before Old Dogs, and John Travolta, I think, looks older in this movie than
I
that
don't
one.
know, the years were not kind to him in the intervening 2008, 2009.
To be fair, he does wear that bandana for a lot of the movie.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? He doesn't look that old here.
Yeah.
That was alright. I was expecting him to wear eyeliner or something just to go with the look.
Okay, is this one of those gay jokes you're talking about? Because, like, the tough, gruff-looking guy is talking about a day spa.
Yeah, this one might be one of the subtle ones of this movie.
Because, you can't enjoy wine coolers and day spas and be a man at the same time, right?
Yeah, exactly. Of course
It's
you
heresy.
can. Of course you can.
Yeah.
Well, as we established in the Snowdog episode, at least they're not wearing pink. So it doesn't confuse us.
Well, if they were, they'd probably be even tougher, because...
Oh, yeah, some people
narrative
say that
war,
real
I
men
think.
wear pink, but...
Yeah.
I do like the whole thing of, we go to our, biker-themed bar. This is probably the Harley-Davidson bar that they were talking about in the George Carlin bit.
Yeah, this is probably everything George would despise.
Yeah, so I wonder if that guy there, the waiter, I wonder if he does that little shtick just for them, or if
Yeah.
that's his, job to do that. Because he does refer to them as the Wild Hogs, so he definitely knows them.
Right? He
Yeah.
knows a thing or two.
Yeah. So, you know what? I'm going with the conclusion that he does it just for them.
Yeah, I agree.
Because they're probably regulars. Like, no one else in this bar, from what I can tell in, at least this shot, is really dressed like them.
Yeah,
No.
or probably actually owns a bike.
Yeah. They probably have a minivan or something. A minivan is the ultimate sign of the impotent adult.
Yes. Because you have a family that you have to
Yeah,
take
probably.
care of. Yeah. So,
Me,
that's how it
personally
works.
speaking. Yeah. Yeah, Wi-Fi was a big deal back then.
Well, Apple's always been a big deal, so
Yeah.
that's his really big thing in this movie. He's got Apple hotspots, he uses the Apple product. He's about to get a tattoo of the freaking Apple logo.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, do you actually see that?
Oh yeah, he makes a big deal. They're not going to hide it. It's product placement. But you know what? We're talking about it as if it's not really a bad thing. This movie doesn't really make it a bad thing.
Oh, look, it said Claudia.
Oh.
It did.
Oh, is that the name of
His
John
ex-wife.
Travolta's? Oh,
Of his wife?
Is
his
be divorced.
wife who's divorcing him, but they don't find out about that till the end of the movie.
Is that art imitating life, or is that the other way around?
I would say yes.
All we need is a Luke and a Bartek Kasprzyszak in this movie, and then we got us.
I sure hope so.
So I was saying, product placement. It's not always a good thing, but in this movie they do it twice, very early on, and then just kind of let it go.
Yeah.
Just
They
like,
don't don't dwell on it, and I think that's
It's
really
important.
admirable.
Yeah.
It's fair. It's like something necessary, but just like do it first, get it out of the way, and then just go on with the movie.
Mhm.
What's important?
It's not like Man of
Dangerous.
Steel.
I'd like to point out that if John Travolta's character hadn't raised all these existential concerns, they probably would have not gone on their adventure.
Probably.
Well, like I said, he's the one who's falling apart, so he's
Yeah.
very much sort of the leader of the group, even though I think Tim Allen's character is more styled as a leader, main character
Yeah.
type.
He's like Zach Galifianakis in The Hangover 2, I think, because he's all concerned about he's going to lose his friends because they're all getting married.
Aw, that's
So he
sad.
wants to keep them together. Do you remember that guy?
Yeah, this is another thing that kind
Sorry,
of...
what happened to Peterson? Did he die?
I think he is
Oh,
killed.
the guy
He
who...
probably died.
Yeah, the guy who came up to them said that... Oh,
Like the
our-
armband.
yeah, he said Tom Peterson passed away last week, so you could all ride with this flag, and it's like not a very manly thing, but it's establishing the fact that they're at an age where some people just end up dropping dead.
Yeah.
Middle age, pretty much.
Yeah, just started the whole thing. We should do that. Do this. We could die any
day now.
day now.
So this
Mediocre.
this
We
scene,
do what we want,
So
yeah.
we have this scene right here where Doug is combating his family, who really cares about him. They don't drop it in this scene, even
Yeah.
tyrannical son, as you said.
Yeah, well, didn't offer him the gravy.
I'm pretty sure the son
Douchebag.
even says something in this scene like, "Dad, no, not the butter or not the potatoes or something." So
At that point, I would just yell at my son, tell him to go to his room.
go to your room. I'm going to the hospital.
Yeah, well, but first I'm going to enjoy this butter.
Man, Tim Allen, he's... This sounds laughing.
Look, I'm sorry, but Kevin Spacey's breakdown as a father figure was way better in American Beauty. This is strictly kid stuff.
Well, it is a... I was going to say family movie, but that's old
true.
dogs.
Yeah.
This movie does have more intense stuff, and I think they do drop a few swears, so...
He just
Maybe
said...
later. Like right now, since they're in the... Is he?
Okay.
Why is he eating the potato?
He's drinking
He's
gravy
drinking
now.
the gravy.
He's saying that,
Alright.
you know, he doesn't care if he has
that kind of
cholesterol problems, he's eating whatever he wants.
Oh.
Well, here we go. No, Dad, you're LDL. Oh, he told him to butt out. That's a swear.
Yeah. So apparently the thing was that...
Jesus
Oh my
Christ.
god, he's eating the butter.
Yeah.
Tim,
Oh.
it's not worth it, man.
No, it's not.
Go back
Don't
to-
do it.
Do a
Don't-
Toy Story
don't do
sequel. It won't hurt as
Oh.
much as this.
Yeah. I've never really been into butter.
You know, like spreading or just like biting out of it.
No, just like at all. I used to have it like with cheese, and I'm like, this kind of kills the flavor a bit. I'll just take the cheese.
Well, look, yesterday I had one piece of chicken for dinner, and I just covered it in garlic aioli, and it tasted great.
Oh, garlic's nice, yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but I have no shame about sauce.
Oh, he's calmed down.
Oh, here's another Reservoir Dogs reference. Madsen, as in Michael Madsen, who played Mr. Blonde.
Yeah, it's his last name.
See? It's a hidden dialogue.
Yeah, a joke at this beginning part of the movie is also like he calls himself a doctor, but he's actually a dentist. And,
They did that in The Hangover.
yeah. They also did that in the really popular sitcom 2.5 Men, but it wasn't a dentist, it was a chiropractor.
And I bet before that they did it in probably one of George Carlin's skits again.
Maybe.
Probably. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, so it's kind of funny how this wife and Bobby's wife, the black wife, is
The black wife.
just to remind you guys, I don't remember what her name is.
Yeah, to be fair, I don't think
and
we got her
Bobby
name.
hasn't really had a second scene so far to himself,
Yeah.
so I'm just being fair.
Yeah.
They're very polar opposites because that one is very controlling and she's against the trip. You're about to learn that.
Yeah.
And this one is, you know what? You should go on a trip.
Yeah.
You should do something.
That's
It'll be
supportive.
good for you.
That's nice.
Although I have to wonder, like, she kind of provoked him into eating all that food. So maybe, what if this is just another step in
You
the
know,
master
Maybe
plan?
she's just feeling guilty.
Maybe, yeah.
You know, to
that's more
be
likely,
fair,
yeah.
it was Tim Allen reading into it. I mean, she did make an innocent comment. Like, it was sort of, poking fun at him. But
Okay, so Bobby's wife's name is Karen.
Okay.
Karen, was it?
One of those.
We can just call her Martin Lawrence.
Martin Lawrence's wife.
Wife.
We can just call him Black. Because they have black hair. Look, they have black hair.
Anyway, hell just
moving
froze
on.
over. It's 8:30 in the morning. Oh god, I didn't need to say.
Oh, there's the apple
okay,
tattoo.
there it is.
There it is. Oh, it has the colors and everything.
Oh, that's cute.
Mm-hmm.
Is it red?
It's in my skin.
It's every
bitch.
color.
Ah,
It's like rainbow.
okay. I
Yeah,
think he's still
I think-
high on the
Yeah, like the
anesthesia.
logo.
I'd just like to point out that we're all wearing an article of red clothing today.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I'm wearing red shorts and an orange shirt.
I'm wearing a red singlet top.
Just a red shirt.
Here we are.
Mm.
Oh, Claudia, that means you're going to die at the end of the episode.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, red shirt.
But will my death be like broadcasted at least?
Well, you'll get a credit.
Well, since you're alive now, do you want us to?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I might
This
as well
wouldn't
use
be-
it for good, you know?
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, maybe we'll get the ratings up a little bit.
Yeah.
Help you out.
Did you hear that, Judge Justice? We've gotten verbal consent and it's recorded.
Yes.
Yeah, so you can't put us in the naughty corner.
Yes.
That's where you go when you
You
break
just
the
wait
law,
until
right?
the end of the episode. You will have a very satisfying
Mm-hmm.
death scene. I was going to say sex scene. I don't know why.
That's a kid's movie. You don't need a GPS to discover America.
Mm-hmm.
You need a bike in the road and
So-
probably some sense of direction or something.
Yeah.
Like signals to
Look,
tell you
if
you're
Mad-
going the wrong way.
If Mad Max had said that, it would sound semi-plausible, but this is not. Because it's...
Yeah, they
Yeah.
look like they really do need the GPSs.
Yeah,
And now he's dancing.
okay, I know the song he's singing.
Brittany.
I remember that.
You know,
It's my prerogative.
to be fair, in this movie, it's never a conflict that they get lost. I mean,
Really?
they do.
It should be though.
Yeah, so they at one point they do want to call someone, but they don't ever get lost. So the GPS thing doesn't really matter. It's just the fact that
Oh, there's.
the goofball
That's
did the
why.
goofy.
Why wouldn't you just toss it on the ground and step on it?
Because he's the goofy one.
Ah, yes.
It's like, well, you all threw it far away, so I'm gonna do it something different and throw it far away and hit someone.
The quest begins.
Yeah, so this is really where the trip starts.
Yeah, here's America as we know it.
Mm-hmm.
Power lines, railroads.
Roads, trees,
There's gonna be
Probably
desert,
a baseball field
mountains,
eventually.
some factory there polluting stuff.
The
farmland.
pervading sense of emptiness and frustration.
This is Ryan's homeland.
Is it?
Who's?
Ryan, the
Oh.
co-host of this show, who's not here.
Oh, yeah, that
He's
guy.
a country bumpkin, so I'm making.
Yeah,
a
here
joke.
we have a open top Jeep full of girls.
Mm-hmm.
They're probably going on a trip too.
Yeah.
No, they're just
Oh,
going to
I was-
7-Eleven.
I was expecting one of them to flash them or something.
Yeah.
I don't
That's
think.
usually what happens in these movies.
Yeah.
Like when
I'll-
they find out like a
Yeah,
bus full of
right.
girls, they just like flash people.
I will
just,
confess, I'm a
Well-
little disappointed.
They're about to reappear.
Oh,
Oh.
Yeah, they have. It's a call. It's a callback to a few seconds ago. See, they're not so late. They're not so cool now.
oh, look at their little yellow doobies.
Rain
You
jackets.
guys want to ride? And then.
Oh, it's so mean.
Bye bye. Yeah.
Dude,
Bye
don't
bye,
you?
baby.
Don't you love it when women hit on you and then the rain starts and like, haha.
I love doing that.
Ah, it happens
the
every
best.
time. They pretend to like me, then they take my Nintendo 64.
So is that a thing? That rain makes women laugh?
No, just seeing guys look miserable.
Okay.
You know, I still have my Nintendo 64.
Me too.
Is it your Nintendo
It is
64?
my
Okay,
Nintendo 64.
fair enough.
The
Yes.
only one I have ever owned, and it's a Pikachu one.
Mm.
Oh,
And the
my
cheeks
God.
light up, and the power button is a Pokeball.
How much do you want for
It's
it?
no, it is priceless. I will never sell it.
Yeah, I had a Pokemon Game Boy Color.
Yeah, those are neat.
Yeah, it has.
Those
You
are
know how
good.
it's
Those
got
are
like the power light?
Yeah.
It's like it's Pikachu's little red
Yeah.
dot.
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
Do you remember Pokemon Printer?
No.
Oh yeah, it's like an add-on to the color.
Yeah, you could put the cord in. It's a cord between this little printing device and your Game Boy, and whatever's on the screen, you could print it out in this little newsprint-looking thing. It looks like it's been ripped straight from the 50s. It was beautiful.
That is awesome.
It was a great time to be alive.
Mm.
Now we've got
Oh,
3D
nice.
printing.
So we've got the end of their first day of being laughed at.
Yeah. Bobby's commiserating.
Mm.
Yeah, he's just reminding us that he's in this movie.
Why
That's
would
an-
he have want to wear
Oh, he's a
condoms in
plumber.
his shoes?
Remember? That's why. Well, on or in? Did you see?
He said something about condoms in his shoes. That
Oh.
Oh, because he in an earlier scene he had to clean a bathroom that apparently was entirely covered
Yeah,
in
that's
shit.
right. He was a plumber.
So he had to like
That-
there's that.
wear. I was gonna say protection, but like basically wearing a glove over his shoes so he doesn't get dirty.
Continuing the theme of emasculation, William H. Macy can't talk to women because they scary.
Aww.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay.
Will.
It's okay, Will. You'll get the girl. I already
It's
know.
not all bad. He's carrying a ukulele in this scene. You could use that,
Yeah.
but it never comes
Yeah.
back again.
Like women like a musical man, I guess.
Yeah. Unless it's 4
Well,
a.m. and they're trying to sleep.
I mean, they got John Travolta. He was in a musical once.
Yeah.
Yeah, what was it called?
How to
Sweat?
forget that?
Jesus Grease Superstar.
Ah, yes. Jesus Christ. Ah.
Superstar. Oh my god.
Burning down the highway in a Yamaha.
That was really reckless. But at least it is setting up for a joke where they can have another gay
Yes.
character appear.
Yes,
one of the
played
many
by
great
the inimitable John McGinley.
I believe that's his name. Yeah.
Yes.
What was he in, Luke?
Scroobs.
Oh,
Scrooge.
Dr. Cox.
Yeah, Dr. Cox.
Okay. Thanks for answering that because I actually didn't know anything he was in because I know what Scrubs.
Bartek.
Blasphemy.
I
You
watch
will-
much TV.
We're gonna
I
have 2
watched,
deaths by the end of this
I
podcast.
watched Seinfeld.
What's
Yeah,
the
that's
deal
good.
with tents? It's not like you're supposed to burn them down.
I wonder if Jerry Seinfeld will ever have a bit on the pussification of men.
Maybe.
Well, once he talked, I don't know what the sketch was about, but he said there's no such thing as fun for the whole family, and that really resonates with me.
You know that apparently he's the highest paid actor in Hollywood? Like, he hasn't really been in much, but apparently he's...
Seinfeld?
Oh, I'm sorry, he's one of the richest... He's the richest actor in the world, apparently.
Huh.
And here, there's the gay undertones, which is
Oh.
why
Here we are.
there he is with a
The human
great
body wasn't made
haircut.
to stroll something so big. Yeah.
Well,
He's really selling this early intense part.
Hmm.
Listening to all their gay innuendo.
Oh dear.
They're talking pretty naturally. Yeah, we mentioned last week, like, I can't remember. It was the scene where they were at the camp and they were doing all the gay jokes there, how their dialogue matched whatever they needed to further the joke of them being gay. So, like...
Yeah, right. Yeah, this is the exact same thing. It's all meant to be misunderstood.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much this character's existence, to catch the misunderstandings and want to be involved.
Lewd, lascivious.
And the next words he says pretty much establish.
One count of pure jealousy.
Oh, talk dirty to me.
And he's a cop, so it's kind of got like a Village People undertone to it.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
young man.
like the hair.
There's no need to feel down.
Well, they're all not young, but...
But the uniform is like
Young
really
man.
tight too. Just too.
Yeah, his uniform's straight out of like a porn.
Yeah, or stripper
right.
kind of, I would say.
So I'm gonna have to arrest you for all the stuff he just said. Down, down, down. He just said,
Daddy.
"Oh dear," he just said the word.
Dada?
Dada. Father,
Well, you
give
know,
me legs.
half of them are fathers.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
The
it would be- it would be
specifically those
accurate
two.
to say daddy.
So whose thumbs up was better then? Was it, you know, the highwayman's or the dentist's?
It must have been the Highwayman's,
However,
right?
definitely.
Yeah. Tim Allen's looked pretty good to me.
You know, apparently this is the movie that sort of killed Tim Allen's like AAA career. Like after this,
I can't believe that.
After this, he's only really been in like independent films, and you know he is Buzz Lightyear, so he'll be in those films. But,
Yeah.
yeah, he didn't really get too much work after this one. But you know, John Travolta certainly didn't suffer, and I don't think the other two did either.
No.
It was just Tim Allen.
And here come those guys.
Yep, bit of foreshadow. I don't. Is it the Del Fuegos or is
Yeah.
it just?
Fuego.
Yes. That's the ones.
Yeah.
What does that mean, Claudia?
Of the fire.
Of the fire.
Yeah.
Just
Or
that.
from the fire.
Ah.
So people who pick Charmander.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, put it down, Will. Put it down.
Yeah, you don't really get it.
Oh wow, that's cool.
Oh,
That's a Mad Max
cool
shit.
Guy. Yeah.
Mad Max, that won a lot of Oscars.
Yeah,
Yes, it did.
The best Australian film when it comes to Oscars. I mean, it won the most, and it was Australian.
Yeah, and we got a lot of
Nice.
Australian speeches.
Mate.
I like the costume lady because she seemed very much like, oh yeah, she looks like she'd be looking after people in the after school program or something. she wasn't dressed in like a dress or anything. She just had a jacket on. And then the sound editors, they weren't even Australian, but they're the ones who one was crazy and the other said fuck yeah.
As an aside, Tom Hardy and Charlize Theron's stunt doubles fell in love and got married, I believe.
Oh wow.
So,
Really?
yeah, so there's a bit of love in the dystopia.
So that's sort of, I mean, adds
is
a bit
romantic.
of Max
It is.
X
Nothing brings
Furiosa.
people closer than pretending to get the shit beaten out of you.
Oh, here we got a locust scene.
Oh dear.
Oh. Now that's wild. Yep.
Yeah.
No, yeah, the bugs in your teeth.
He's not
Nothing
gonna-
screams wild like having bug shit all over your face.
He's not gonna. Oh.
Oh, they get it too, and
Oh.
it's just as funny the second time because this time it happened to two people.
So is this a plague or
And
is it just
John Travolta.
migration? Ah.
It's like on
Now, do you guys think that? Oh, you know, Luke, but Claudia, do you think that John Travolta's also going to get a locust in his? No, he gets a bird.
Oh shit.
I like
Ew,
it. I like
so-
it. He doesn't take the feather
No.
out of his mouth.
Looks tough.
Apparently, there are some scenes in this movie that are improvised, and I wonder if not spitting out the feather was something that he did on his
maybe
own.
like a
Could be.
choice of it. Yeah, maybe.
There's only one scene that I definitely know had an improvised bit, and it happens later when he goes to the bar.
Here comes the sexy bathing scene.
You like us?
Oh.
There's us.
That's
Williams
William H.
Macy's.
Macy naked, because that's
Yeah.
what we really needed at this time of day.
That's what we want. Yes.
At this time of year, localized
Well, I
entirely
mean,
in
of the
this
four
living room.
characters, wouldn't you rather see the oldest guy's ass? Or the
Why?
oldest looking guy's ass?
Why?
Because isn't it the one that has the most experience? I'm just saying, I'm trying to get into the mind of the
Yeah, but the
people who
gravity
make the
is
movie.
just it's like experience. Do you want the
Okay.
experience or do you want like to see all that gravity just going making it go down? I don't know.
That is exactly what we're dealing with here. Gravity. The years have not been kind.
I'm just trying to find what the screenwriter, the director, the producer, whoever was thinking, and trying to
By
think,
showing his ass and not the
Yeah.
other one.
yeah, specifically his and no one else's.
Well, look. Applied properly, male old man ass can make a great show. Breaking Bad, for instance. We saw a lot of Bryan Cranston's ass, and that show was
Yes,
amazing.
we did.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So,
And
this-
which character here do you think looks the most like Bryan Cranston?
I'm gonna say Martin Lawrence, just to be an asshole.
We didn't see Martin Lawrence's asshole. We didn't see anyone's asshole per se.
No.
No, just yes. Actually, William H. Macy has made a career out of showing his ass. A lot of Shameless.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys have seen it.
No, you're right. Yeah.
There it is
Ah,
again.
There is
okay,
it- there it is
if
again.
you
See?
freeze, if you
See?
freeze frame it, ladies and gentlemen, you can probably get a good view.
You know, every episode we have to put a screen cap onto an episode.
I think you just found it.
Oh crap! It's time to submerge.
And it's going to be this little boy taking off shirt.
Of course.
Not man taking off shirt. Yeah.
No,
You know that they're not trying to create this father. It's another case of he's written to really fan the flames.
Oh dear.
Like everything that he says
my
for the kids to
God.
do, it just brings them closer to Dick.
Closer to Dick.
Yeah.
That should be the name of someone's autobiography.
I just want to rephrase it. I just said that a father in a movie was trying to bring their kids closer to Dick.
Yeah, like what? This guy is pathological. He's so
Yeah.
friendly. Like, you know what? I bet after this little incident, he was a lot more paranoid and just.
Oh yeah,
Well, probably
Friendly.
was a good thing for him. I mean, why would you want your kids like to be like swimming around like a pool full of like 4 guys that you don't know, even if they're not naked? They could be
Oh,
something.
potato salad
There.
lady just got it.
I do
There.
like how cool Tim Allen is, though. Like, when they realize he's just like, well, guys, you know, I was trying to get you away
Yeah,
from here.
right?
So, you know, just walk away, but no, they're like, no, run, ditch that bag. Well, no, one of them's going to grab it, but...
That sounds like an innuendo. I bet her
Potato
potato
salad?
salad was really good. I'm just saying.
Oh, there's another man.
Oh, there's it.
He's back.
Oh, Dr. Cogs.
Yeah, see, he's actually kind of kept in shape just a little bit.
Yeah,
You know, it's kind
better
of...
than William H. Macy.
It's kind of funny
Oh,
that
yeah.
you mentioned the innuendo thing with the salad. There is the phrase tossing salad,
Yeah.
which is analingus.
Yes.
Okay, so that lady's salad. Oh god, I'm glad the
And that also
the
has to
water
do
was-
with ass, right?
Yeah,
Tossing
analingus.
salad? Yeah.
Means licking ass.
Yeah.
I don't
yeah.
know. I'm 12 years old.
See,
What is
so we've
sex?
seen like a bunch of asses, potato salad.
It's a very
Chicken fry.
sexual
So-
undertones.
Oh, so I forgot that we saw his ass. So we see the fittest ass,
Yeah.
and we
Yeah.
see the oldest ass. So we get like a bit of an ass contrast.
Yeah.
We are not at an impasse, you might say.
Impasse with the ass contrast.
Break it down now.
Whoa! Oh, well, no, we're gonna get content ID matched. But unfortunately, Gay Cop never appears again.
You do know that his name is actually like Gay Highway.
Yeah, in the
Patrolman.
credits,
Yeah.
gay
Like
patrolman.
in the,
yeah.
like that is the character's name.
Even his character in what was that thing it had Rob Schneider in it, where he's like an animal. He's got parts of animals inside him.
Was it
No
on
idea.
South Park?
No. It's an actual movie. It's like the story is his character was in an accident, so the doctor replaced his organs with animal parts.
There was something like that. I can't remember.
well, anyway,
I haven't seen
it-
too many.
John McGinley is in that for one scene, and that character still has a name. Whereas in this, he's in it for a couple, and he's still just called the Gay Patrolman.
Gay Highway Patrolman, yeah.
Yeah.
So is it like a trope for movies? Maybe.
The Gay Highway Patrolman? Maybe the eccentric Highway Patrolman.
Okay,
Gayness is optional.
So here we are, about to meet the antagonist of
Yes.
the film. There's a
And there's this. What do you
Here
call
is the
that?
first true test for our heroes.
tumbleweed.
Incidentally,
Yeah.
there's a town in New South Wales that is getting destroyed by tumbleweeds. Have you
Really?
seen
Yeah.
like I've seen a picture of a house. It is half buried in
Yeah.
tumbleweeds.
But that would be like hinting at something like Western kind of situation
Yeah,
where they have to save a town or something.
from the tumbleweeds.
Mm.
Sounds like a horror movie in there somewhere.
Fear the tumbleweeds.
So to bring back what we said earlier, that the antagonists of this movie kind of represent the side of the people that George Carlin was saying weren't the pussified
Yeah.
people. They're the real bikers of this movie.
But then again, they're also kind of the antithesis of these guys. These guys are old and looking to get some young thrills, whereas the antagonists never really grew up, to my mind.
Yeah, they're kind of just stuck where they are. It
Yeah.
kind of reminds me of like stories, sort of like GTA San Andreas, where a lot of the characters at the beginning of the movie, at the beginning of the game, are stuck in the lifestyle that they've always known. You know, they're still in a gang, they're still
Right.
pushing drugs
Yes.
and all that kind of stuff.
Because they just can't grow as individuals.
Yeah, and you know what's funny? We said that like they've never grown up. Apparently,
Yeah.
this guy here, Jack,
This guy.
he's played by Ray Liotta, who was like 50 during this movie.
Jesus Christ, he's 50? He looks like 28.
Yeah, he was born in the 1950s, and this movie was 2007, so he's
Wow.
got to be like 49,
At least.
early 50s.
Yeah.
I was surprised, yeah.
No.
Yeah, he
His character is an absolute jerkhole.
yeah. Later on in this scene, Martin Lawrence really describes, quite accurately, I reckon, well, accurately, but he describes that this whole scene here kind of feels like a pre-rape kind of thing. Because, you know, they're acting...
Well, like an intimidation?
Yeah, intimidation. But he uses the words pre-rape. And
Who
like,
does?
Huh?
Who does?
Martin Lawrence.
Martin Lawrence.
Ah.
Black. Remember?
Yeah, right.
See, if we call him by his
The guy
actor
who looks
name,
the
you don't
most like
remember
Bryan
him, but I say
Cranston.
Black, then you remember who it is.
Of
Because he's
course.
got black hair. Oh yeah, this... Here, right here, where John Travolta is not saying anything but just squinting, this was one of the things that they improvised and left in.
I like it.
Yeah.
Look at him, he's so still.
Yeah, he's just squinting, acting all
Oh, wow.
intimidating.
His eyebrows are
And he doesn't crack.
acting all by themselves.
So yeah,
Shut up.
basically this scene is going to end with them pretty much calling them out in the style of George Carlin's bit, you know, saying,
Yeah.
you are the posers. Posers is the big thing that they call him in this movie.
Okay.
And it's very ironic. It's like, you're calling them posers, and on the other hand, you are people who are absolutely stuck in a lifestyle where this is all you do. So who's better off and who's not better off?
Well, no doubt the answer is some happy medium where you find things that make you happy, but you also attend to your responsibilities as needs dictate.
Yeah, but I guess their lifestyle is one where they've escaped all those types of responsibilities, because they're very much...
Yeah.
They're
that's
straight
what
up
they do.
outlaws, pretty
But,
much.
but here's the thing. You got to drive those bikes, you got to pay for your beers and whatnot. Where does that money come from?
Well,
they
look,
probably
I
do it.
just said they're outlaws. They don't pay for a lot of things.
No, yeah, but you have to pay for petrol eventually.
Well, yeah, but if you're gonna rob someone, why would you pay for petrol?
Well, in that case, that only works so long as they can successfully rob
Yeah.
people.
And they're described as like a 50-man group, and like even when the sheriffs go up to them and they're like, "Oh, don't cause trouble," and they're like, "Fuck you, sheriff," or something like that. That's the kind of
Yeah.
attitude. No major authority is after them.
Maybe they have some kind of side business like drug trafficking or like
You know
arms
what?
dealership.
You're probably right.
And not a single one of them has a gun in this movie. So
Okay, so arms, no.
I don't know, like
Or maybe drugs.
two guys, yeah.
Porn?
Porn.
Maybe they're trafficking biker porn.
Actually,
Yeah?
there are no guns in this movie, because the three sheriffs we meet later on in the town where the rest of the movie's set in, they specifically mention, yeah, we don't carry guns anymore, because you risk accidentally you risk accidentally shooting it when you don't realize it's loaded.
Oh, yet another metaphor.
Mm-hmm.
This guy's face. What a happy clown.
Yeah, that guy is kind of... He's the dumb guy who, in one scene, says something surprisingly smart and he gets slapped. He's very much like, if you watch South Park, he's basically Mimsy,
Ah, yeah.
but who says more disturbing things in line of, like, in the scene in Happy Gilmore, he's like, "I eat piece of shit like you for breakfast." It's like,
You eat pieces of shit. for
why
breakfast?
do you say things that keep implying you do bad things? Like, if we're gonna drink piss, we drink it cold. That's a line from
Right.
later on.
I'm looking forward to it.
So yeah, it seemed like it was going well
Here we
there,
go.
but then William Macy comes in. They're like, "Oh my god, we got the programmer."
The thing is, he's right. They're like, them riding out for the weekend is... What do you call it? It's like tourism.
I know, but basically they're getting mad over something that doesn't really matter.
Well, to them it must matter.
Yeah, to them, but they hang out and they're bad guys, so we don't really want to, give them what they want. Even though the credits scene does give them something they very much
Holy
want.
shit, this guy's perceptive. Look at him
Yeah,
go.
he like I said, he's straight up doing George.
Take that, Will. Yeah, shut up.
Yeah, and in a scene where John Travolta, he's gonna, let's just say he does some damage to their little bar by accident. That's pretty badass.
Yeah.
In terms of a biker thing.
It is.
Like I would, in a different kind of movie, I would almost think that they'd be like, okay, maybe he is a bit of a, he's got a biker spirit in him.
But no, they just get...
No, well, once you cross them, it's like, oh, they did a bad thing to us, bad guys, they must pay.
I like to point out the sidecar here, which is not something you see much more these days.
Yeah.
Yeah, what is the shame in a sidecar? Like, really?
I have no
You
idea.
don't have to do any of the work. You just sit there,
and
enjoy
let
the breeze.
Let the locusts hit you right in the face.
I guess the problem is it just doesn't look as badass, I guess.
Yeah, you're just
like,
sitting there with your arms.
Because they treat the bikes like a part of themselves. Like, the thing in the biker culture is that if you ride on the back of a bike, the back of the bike is called like a bitch seat.
Really?
And
That's
earlier on in the scene where Woody was riding and William
With
Macy was
Macy.
on behind him, he's like, "Don't sniff my neck when you're riding, bitch." That's a bit of a
Wow.
reference to the whole bitch
Also,
seat
it wasn't
thing.
you're writing, bitch.
Yeah, he wasn't calling
yeah.
him a bitch. He's saying that like he was
He's
sitting in the
riding
bitch
bitch.
seat, so to
Okay.
speak.
Oh, here we go. The fellowship is fading.
Oh, John Travolta gets his share of arguments in this movie, yeah, and this is just another one of them. We forgot to mention during the scene where Ray Liotta was yelling at them, he mentioned an important plot point: the fact that the bar was built by like the true prototypical biker.
Yeah.
I forget the biker's name, but
Blade.
Blade, that's right.
Damien Blade.
And he made the bar, and like he's what everyone strives to be.
Yeah.
And
Right.
that's important for a later scene.
Indeed. We won't spoil it, but
Yeah.
it is important.
It's a bit of a Deus Ex Machina scene,
Yeah.
but you know what? This movie sells it, and I'll talk a bit more about that when we get there.
Alright, he's sneaking in. Play the Mission Impossible theme in your heads, everyone.
Or
that.
Bon Jovi.
It's all the same. Can I get a high five?
Didn't want to high five too loud because then
Yeah.
the microphone will go red.
That's bad. We like wearing red, but the microphone...
We like leaving
Brilliant.
keys in the ignition.
Yeah. It's because they know no one's going to fuck with them until Danny Zuko does it.
They know it until they realize they were wrong.
Ooh, baby.
Yeah, and he
I love vandalism.
yeah, he doesn't get caught. The fact that he doesn't get caught pretty much leads to the
Immolation.
the problem of the film. The fact that these bikers want them dead.
Yeah. What if one of them just happened to walk out the front door?
That's what I thought it was going, and if that would have happened, then that would be like their problem. Like the whole movie could be like they kidnapped John Travolta. We need to get him back.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah,
my
that could have
god,
been
I
a
watched
plot.
that.
But because they didn't, they create a new one. The fact that they're so angry, they don't realize that their bike's thing has been cut, and then one of them who just happened to be smoking and threw it off. It carried petrol
Yeah.
and boom.
Vroom.
Like Solander.
Yeah. Except that led to the tragic deaths of several supermodels.
Speaking of Zoolander, at the Oscars they had the In Memoriam thing, and for David Bowie they used a clip from Zoolander.
Oh. How couldn't they have used the clip from Band Slam?
Because in Zoolander he's like, I think I can be of help, gentlemen, or something like that.
Something nice.
He's been in a lot of things, but apparently Zoolander was the thing the Oscars like the most.
Oh, he's lying because he doesn't want to tell the truth.
Oh yeah, he shows off, and it's not until
Oh,
way later that they realized, oh, he was lying.
The trip is back on, everyone.
Back on.
Mm-hmm.
They don't care. They're nice guys. They're just misunderstood.
Yeah, so for pretty much the rest of the movie until all the shit hits the fan, Bobby, Doug, and Dudley are pretty much really happy. Because they
Good.
think that everything's just going well, and John Travolta's always got shit
Yeah.
in his head.
He knows
Oh, they realize him.
what you gonna do when they come for you.
Bad hogs.
Wild hogs, wild hogs. He should have flipped him off instead of waved.
Well, what do you think John Travolta's gonna do?
We could have had 2 for 1.
Mm-hmm.
There's that guy again.
There you go.
There we go. Very nice.
It's like, look in the sky.
Look up. Those assholes got balls. That's impressive. Not everyone has that.
Yeah.
That I'm gonna put my mouth on. Okay.
You can put what in your mouth? That sounded kind of homosexual, friend.
Which is
I like how they-
why
I like how
I
they
should
don't-
punch you in the face.
I like how they don't start moving until the punch happens.
Yeah, like none of them are.
Well, maybe they just will have to follow the boss, you know?
Yeah.
If the boss doesn't move, they don't move.
Good luck.
Good luck.
What the
Oh, dude.
Oh, he doesn't even throw it, he drops it. What an idiot.
You shouldn't have opened your
opening
mouth.
his mouth and realizing what was happening.
Let that be a lesson to all of you. Never open your mouth. It's just bad.
Yeah, just don't.
Always.
Especially
For the rest of this episode,
eat
we will do it
breathe.
with mouth closed. Best episode ever.
Michael Bay could not have done a better job of this explosion.
That's actually a good explosion.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's a nuclear explosion from this angle.
You know what? What's...
Going
Oh,
nuclear.
that's nice.
Oh god. Oh,
we
no.
didn't have the cool guys don't look at explosion scene.
Oh shit, you're
That's a
right.
classic scene.
Okay.
Well, they didn't realize
Alright.
there was going to be an explosion, so they couldn't prepare for it.
That's right.
Oh, John, you should have known.
Yeah, and pretty much John Travolta's excuse throughout this whole movie is, come on, let's go on the road, let's go.
My soul needs something to drink.
His constant, like, anything built by man is bad when he's riding a fucking motorcycle is getting kind of irritating.
Yeah.
He's moving.
Yeah. So he pretty much just said, we'll get, gas petrol in this country at the next station. And what do you think's behind this van? Is it perhaps
It's
a
a
sign
billboard.
that tells them that it's going to take forever?
Last
Oh,
gas for
dear.
200 miles.
Well, that's a different kettle of fish.
Well, that's a sun, actually.
And that is a scorpion.
That's
No, it's a lobster.
And that's a scorp.
That's a transformer. It's going to transform.
Hmm.
It looks pretty hot out there. It's also very hot here today.
Yeah, this
Yeah, it
scene has a vulture.
Just like
Oh god. What's
What?
with the birds?
looking around.
man?
Well, the vulture is like a symbol of death. Like, I'm going to wait till you die, then I'm going to
Yeah.
eat you.
But what I love is like he's just like walking.
Yeah, look at it. He's
It's
keeping
not
pace.
even. He's usually perched up on a high rock, just
Yeah.
looking at them. But he's just like
Cackling.
following them, like
Tho-
like a nice pet.
Aw.
Those of you that
Oh.
are...
Oh, so cute.
It is kind of cute.
Oh,
It
you
is
think
kinda
that's
cute.
cute? You should see I'll Be Home for Christmas. There's a vulture like that. When the guy's first abandoned in the desert, he has like a vulture friend following him for a few minutes, and it's like implies that the whole movie they're going to be like buddies. But then as soon as the vulture finds another vulture, he just flies away.
Oh,
Huh.
Yeah.
that's pretty sad.
So one of the reviews that I'm going to read later on described that vulture as like death following William Macy.
Well, he should have died at the start of the movie, right? When he crashed, so,
Which of the times he crashed?
both, probably.
Oh, don't worry, he's going to crash like once or twice more.
Probably, and he won't die.
Oh yeah, he's got a leather helmet.
Cold beer.
Because that's what you need right now.
We're gonna get some... Oh, cervezas.
So I just want to point out that the town that they're going to, which is 1 mile away, does have a petrol station. So does that mean that they've now walked 199 miles, pushing their bikes?
Well, look, they probably were singing 500 miles in their heads to keep their spirits up.
Yeah,
That helps.
but the sign, which they didn't even see, said 200 miles.
Yeah.
So that
Oh,
means
they
that-
must have gotten
they
most
must
of
have
that.
walked.
So-
Yeah.
So is this town the town that has the 200 miles away petrol station, or is this one that the sign just didn't account for?
Well, the sign looked kind of old, right? So maybe...
Maybe the town wasn't there before the sign.
Ew! Did you see
No.
that? He was
No.
licking the beer dispenser. Oh, God.
Oh, now they're, feeding each other. Oh.
This is so erotic.
Yes, it is.
Oh, they think that... This is funny. They think that they're the bad ones.
They think that they're in the fires. Is that what Del Fuego's was? In the fires? Of the fires?
Del fuego. Of
Yeah.
the from the fire or of the fire depends.
We should ask them next time they...
Yeah, we should.
arrive.
I guess in Polish it'd be Od Ogień? I don't know.
In English, it would be of the fire.
Yeah.
That is new.
I don't know, but
From
it,
the fire.
but
I
it-
don't know.
Or yeah.
I don't know, it doesn't sound
Maybe
cool
from the fire, I guess. Like they come from the
Sounds
fire.
more
or
badass if
something.
we're talking
We'll
about
call it
assonance.
we'll
from
call
the
it
fire.
we'll call it Vacation from the Fire. Oh, hello, we're just here visiting
A
from the
weekend
fire.
At fires.
Just make it as uncool as possible.
Hey, look, he just mentioned making black jokes, like we have done.
If I were there, I'd try to think of one
Martin
just to see what
Lawrence
happened.
is shutting that shit down.
Don't worry, man. If Martin Lawrence hits you, you can complain to his wife.
It's the law. The long arm of it.
Yes, the law who doesn't carry the gun. Because it's dangerous.
You boys here for the Chile festival. Is he misspelling Chile in the subtitles, or is that how?
Chile is a country, but
No,
Yeah.
no, they're actually talking about like chili that you eat. So that
That is a misspelling. Then.
well, in Spanish, Chile is spelled like that, so
Oh,
like chili.
okay.
But
Okay.
we don't say Chile, we say Chile.
Okay,
Oh,
so
then
maybe-
he must be speaking Spanish.
must be a Spanish chili then.
Wait.
Yeah.
Oh,
Is
it's
that-
this guy.
Who is?
It's
Del Norte
he was in the
Fuegos.
Garfield movie. He was an asshole.
Oh, I've seen him.
He was also in Memento.
So you know what? If Claudia just brought up that in Spanish, chili is spelled like Chile. So
Oh, okay.
I
He
mentioned-
must be speaking
So
Spanish for that
I
part.
mentioned earlier with the whole stew thing, Stuart,
Yeah.
that the subtitles really know what they're talking about and
Yeah.
have like an extra depth. They're multi-layered.
They're
I
smarter than
think
you
they
think.
are.
So by pure coincidence, we brought on Claudia, and she found an amazing element of this movie.
Well done,
that the
Claudia.
subtitles show a high quality of depth to what
They
kind
just
of
said
chili.
chili. Look. Okay. All right.
See,
Okay.
and they were talking about Chile and Chile
But-
festival,
but-
so that is.
But the deputy, sorry, the sheriff,
Mm.
he knows that it is Spanish chili, so he'd say that, you know, the chile thing. But they don't know that, so they would have it with the I at the end.
What a fun
yeah, because
guy.
they're gringos.
They are gringos. That is exactly what they are.
That sounds like a enemy from Super Mario.
I'm gonna jump on a gringo.
Grango. A Goomba.
When Mario goes to
Spaghetti.
the Spanish Mushroom Kingdom.
Macaroni. John Travolta's having a fucking tantrum yet again.
Again, yeah.
He really is a child.
Maybe that's why, like, they pay him for. Like, people really like seeing him doing tantrums. So they're just like, John, this movie has like 10 tantrums. So
Yeah.
we need you. We need somebody of your caliber.
Yeah,
To throw that tantrum.
yeah. These days, John Travolta's performance tends to be a kind of like 5% he's about to laugh kind of thing. Like, yeah, well, you know, look, we gotta run away or else they're gonna
Yeah,
kill
right?
us.
It's this weird. Oh dear.
He did that in Savages too.
The whole place has been burned down.
Yes. Well, I mean,
What's that?
the tent earlier got burned down. This got exploded.
That's true.
Oh, so it's like, oh no, I'm getting something. Like, they are del fuego, and their bar just caught on fire.
Oh my god.
It's like a pun or something.
Huh?
She's actually right.
Yeah.
The bar, literally, the credit scene establishes that bar was their home.
Yes. It
And-
was their bar. See, Chile.
Something tells me
Chile
that
festival.
irony is lost on every single one of them.
Yeah.
Except the smart one who gets slapped.
Okay, hold on. We have to talk about this guy.
Look at him go.
Oh, I have seen this guy.
Oh, back it up.
This
What?
guy right here. He's not important to the movie at all, but in this scene, it cuts to him many times singing like Pussycat Dolls songs.
Oh, really?
I
Yeah.
like
Don't
the
you wish your
way he
girlfriend-
moves.
That specific song.
Maybe that's why he's doing all these sultry moves.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah,
Look
actually.
at those gyrating hips.
Yeah, you could call it another gay joke of the movie, but it doesn't go anywhere. Like you're watching this movie, and every time it cuts to him, it's like, oh, this guy again. It's going somewhere. And then when the movie ends, you realize, oh wait, it never led to anything.
He was
Goodbye.
just there to
Never
entertain.
again. Yeah.
Yeah. So like yesterday when I was going to bed, I was like humming to myself the, you know, don't you wish your girlfriend was hot like me. And I'm like, I haven't listened to Pussycat Dolls since I was in primary school. Why on earth am I singing that? And I'm like, oh wait, there was that guy in the movie.
What do you suppose they're doing these days?
The Pussycat
The
Dolls?
Pussycat Dolls?
Yeah.
I have no clue.
It's like Sneaky Sound System.
They
I've
probably
not
have like
heard
some
them all the
obscure
time.
reality show. Like,
Yeah, they did.
They
What was
probably
it
do.
called?
Or did. Or,
That thing.
yeah.
Here
They look
is
like they would.
here's William's love interest. I think yet again.
Oh.
It is.
Marisa
Yes.
Oh, Marisa, that is her. She's gorgeous.
Yeah.
He's gonna eat
Oh
it.
my god, he's gonna eat the chili. Don't do it.
Do you like spicy
It's
food?
pretty hot.
Do
and
I-
so am I.
Oh, why didn't she say that?
She should have.
She could have made William H. Macy blush.
Yeah, like, give him credit. He doesn't blush in this movie when he's nervous.
I'm a biker. Ha ha ha.
It's funny because William Macy kind of does have the manlier biker lines. But
Yeah.
it's just the fact that it's him doesn't make it.
Yeah, right? It's like hearing cold-blooded threats of torture from an 8-year-old with a spinny cap.
So we talked over it, but obviously a gag that they later reused twice in Old Dogs, the whole a ball used in a sport getting thrown at someone's
Yeah,
nuts.
right? And someone in the review had a lot to say about how much they didn't like it, so we'll see
Oh
if that happens
yeah,
again.
yeah.
We'll see if it...
I think
Is it
there
good?
might. I think there might have been a review that mentioned it.
Bartek, you asked me earlier if I like spicy food. The thing is, I might, but it's probably like white person's level of spice. So, which is to say, not very much at all.
Yeah, I love spicy food.
Oh, it's so good. I love
Yeah.
it.
Whenever I go to a new Indian restaurant, I like to order their chicken vindaloo, which is like one of the hottest types of curries they have, just to see what it's like. And surprisingly, you know where I've had the hottest vindaloo ever?
Brunswick?
An Indian restaurant in Poland, in Warsaw. A country where the food is so bland, but the
Oh
restaurant
my
is run
God.
by like real Indians, and yeah, that vindaloo was was quite painful to eat, but I did finish it and I did enjoy it very much. And the thing was, my stepmom, she thought that I was having a miserable time, but my dad was like,
Aw.
no, he's loving
Oh,
it.
he loves it. He-
I'm loving it.
Were you like sweating? all
Oh
over?
yeah, it was like that was the only time I've had a vindaloo where I was like, oh, give me something to drink, give me that yogurt. Ah. Usually I can
Yeah.
handle it.
One of these guys is missing an ear.
Yes, he's the reason. It's implied that he's the reason why they don't have guns, because you might accidentally dislodge. Shoot a gun when you don't realize it's
Oh,
loaded.
so they're twins,
Yeah, I know
but
what
you
you
can
mean.
tell them apart because one has the ugly ear.
And
one
the
doesn't.
guy who doesn't have the ear is named Earl, which has EAR in the name.
That is a good...
great.
Maybe they shot that part off just so they could tell them apart, based on that.
Maybe.
Maybe.
But why would you? I mean, are they really important? Is it really important for the movie to tell them apart?
Not really. It's just
No,
the
but-
guy without the ear. His gag is, "Did you say something?" Until later on, where he actually does hear something.
Oh, thank
Okay.
God.
That's it. Yeah, that's the whole gag. The guy who has two ears stands on his right so that he doesn't hear him make fun of him.
Here we go with the moral of the story.
Yeah, this is leading up to a scene where we actually do see an animal.
Yeah, the
Oh,
first
first
one that's
animal
not a
of the
bird or an insect.
No, Claudia,
cat.
I don't know if you remember, but we did have iCat earlier,
Yes.
who hasn't come back.
But, I mean,
hit
did
the
you
road,
see
cat,
that cat? That
don't
wasn't
come
a
back.
real animal. You could tell that he was like...
What, like Salem from Sabrina the Teenage
Yes,
Witch?
I actually thought of Salem from Sabrina.
He had a lot of personality though.
Yeah.
I guess we also did have two birds. We had the raven and then the vulture.
I wonder if the vulture followed them into town. Or
The
did
vulture did look like a real animal.
When are we going to do a movie on this show where a vulture sticks around for the whole movie? Because this is the second one where the vulture just leaves.
You'll
Is
have
there
to
a movie
Google
where
that.
the vulture sticks around?
If the vulture's the
I
main
hope there
character,
is.
I guess.
We should find it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
can you Google that?
Absolutely.
Listeners, if you know of anything, feel free to tell us. So we can get some vulture goodness.
The one in I'll Be Home for Christmas was pretty damn cute. So I like how here he's talking about how, like, no, bulls are too scary to slap, and he lists animals that he would slap.
A ferret? Are you kidding me?
And then but then it's kind of like, yeah, why would you want to slap an innocent animal, man? Oh, I bet Peter loved this part.
I bet he did. Get him.
No, PETA's a group who stands for People for the Ethical Treatment of Enamels.
Yeah, but Peter is also more than the sum of its parts.
Peter is also the English version of my middle name.
Here we go.
Okay. He's gonna slap it. He's gonna slap it. Boom.
Smack that all on the floor. Smack that. Give me some more.
And he got away
Smack
with
that,
it.
And run away. Smack that.
Yeah, and you're going to learn why he got away with it. So it's not like, oh, that was anticlimactic. It actually is going somewhere.
Oh, okay. So we just have to wait it out and see.
Yeah. But for some reason, Martin Lawrence is still like, yeah, you do it next, not me.
Yeah. That was like really tranquil to be like slapped in the ass. Like I've been slapped in the ass at a club and I was not that calm.
I think the bull just remembers a better time.
Yes. Well, pay attention to the Sheriff People's next bit of dialogue, and you'll see where it's going. Luke, do you like this scene?
I like it because it ends with, well, you know,
Martin Lawrence.
getting absolutely fucked up.
All right. Yep. So listen to this bit, or read the subtitles.
Never seen them twice in a row. Oh. When he's alert. Oh.
Goodbye, everybody.
Oh, He saw it coming.
Yep.
You're gonna get a horn in your ass.
Yep.
Oh shit.
You mess with the bull, you get the horns.
God, he flew high. He got 8 feet in the air.
I would like to see the guy who did Cuba Gooding Jr.'s stunts do this thing.
God.
Oh, well, he had
Yeah.
2, but the guy who does the like backflip
Yeah.
to stand up.
Anything
Why
that
would he
hurt.
go inside?
Yeah,
Martin!
Martin Lawrence
Why?
Martin Lawrence makes no sense in this scene, and I think the director did a really good job to make him do that.
I think it's completely against his character.
That is true, but where would the humour be if Martin Lawrence didn't do the dumbest possible things in this scene?
I thought that was William
I
H.
guess so.
Macy's domain.
Well, yeah, but William H. Macy is trying to talk to a chick in this scene.
That's right, he's not
Oh, he's
around.
not there. Okay.
Yeah, he's
He's the
to-
only one that's
So
not here.
they need somebody else to be the dumbass.
He's talking to
So they
Marisa
choose the
Tomei.
black
Yeah,
guy.
and you've got, kind of coolish guy John Travolta and main characterish normal guy Tim Allen.
So Martin.
So let's
does
make
that leave?
let's
the
make
black,
Martin
the black
Lawrence.
guy, yeah.
Yeah. You hear what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh no.
Oh.
And then it just cuts to later on. So we don't know what happened between them. And I think this is one of the last times we cut to Pussycat Dolls guy.
He's ending it with "Kiss You All Over."
Yeah, and he sings it very nicely.
I think this song was in
Now
Happy
it's very
Gilmore.
romantic. Before he was just like getting like all his moves on. Now he's just wants to people feel with him. I love the amount of chilies there are, just like
Yeah.
everywhere,
Everywhere.
all sizes or well, not alcoholic.
It's a wonderful world of chili.
America really does have odd festivals. Like in the movie Birdemic, they went to a town that was having a pumpkin festival, and
Yeah,
and that was an actual town. That was actually an actual pumpkin festival.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I've heard of
I've
those
heard of that.
things. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like a corn festival, or anything you can grow.
and there was
I've
a-
heard of like the harvest festivals, but that's
yeah,
a
that's
lot of
multiple.
yeah.
Yeah, and there was another festival in that movie where it was like sun and moon themed.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Have you seen Birdemic, Shock and
Yeah.
Terror?
Yeah.
Yeah. And they looked at a painting, and the love interest said, "Oh look, love is on the moon." Yeah.
The music moves me, but it moves me ugly. That sounds like Shakespeare. Does that sound like Shakespeare?
Yeah, William H. Macy has some really good dialogue in this
Yeah.
movie.
I'm kind of glad he's the romantic protagonist because
Yeah.
the rest of them wouldn't be able to do what he's doing.
Yeah.
You know, they use his talent well, I think.
He's not.
Yeah.
as well as they could.
He is not pure comic relief.
No,
Yeah,
he has
he
depth,
has,
width,
yes.
and breadth.
Yeah. Like, even this scene doesn't really have, like, a ridiculous, oh, look, he trips gag. The gag is just, like, John Travolta doesn't want to do it, and then he stops.
Yeah. I find it really nice that they just keep pairing these two. Like, he was
Yeah.
writing bitch with him. Like, when they were in the tent, in the
Yeah.
mattress,
Yeah.
William H. Macy was just, like, hugging him.
Aww. It's the real love story.
Yeah, that is the real love story.
Wow.
Alright, here we
So
go.
okay, so fan artists of this movie, or fan fiction writers and all that, you've got two pairings you can work with. You can work with John Travolta and
Yes.
William H. Macy, and you can work with the guy who sings Pussycat Dolls and gay highway patrolman.
Possible ship names could be Woodley or Duddy.
Yeah. It's like how in the review for Old Dogs they had the team Danley for Dan
Yeah,
and
we
Charlie.
did. We had a lot of Dan puns that day. It was a good time to be alive.
Yeah.
So everyone tune in.
Okay, he's not moving ugly. He's actually a good dancer.
Yeah, are you kidding me? Look, and
So-
he picked it all up in a few minutes.
Yeah, so it's like 5 minutes with John Travolta and you're just like an expert dancer.
Oh,
That's
Wow.
great.
it was like 30 seconds
John,
even.
you
Yeah,
missed your
that's
true
right.
profession.
That's right.
Look at him
In
go.
the scene where he said he moves me ugly, they
Look at
mentioned
that.
Oh
Look
my
at that feet.
god.
they mentioned that apparently he has a move called the sprinkler that he did at
dear.
a wedding once. And you know that
Oh, there
and
is.
that
okay, there we
yeah,
go.
there is.
and let me just say that isn't a throwaway line because he's panicking.
Oh, so this is what it. Oh.
and you probably don't realize this, Claudia, but they actually play a sprinkler sound effect when he does this dance.
Okay.
So it just adds a little extra bit to the gag.
You know, I love that Marisa Tomei, she's just like, oh, well, you know, you threw me in the crowd, but I like the way you're dancing. I'm just going to keep doing...
People like
She's
that are
nice.
rare gifts.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
kind of
she's
funny.
nice.
There are a lot of movies where a dancer, like, they screw up, but like they're in the middle of a dance scene, so she doesn't get angry. She just comes back and just kind of continues. I think there was a Mel Brooks movie that had something like that. That was my impression of a door closing.
Nice one. Baby, it's Murdoch.
Real Madrid. Why are
Oh,
they-
that must be the name of the town.
Wait a second,
Oh.
is that the name? I thought the town had a longer name
That
than
explains it.
Okay, yeah, that explains like the whole Spanish kind of
Yeah.
thing.
All right. What the funny thing is, no one in this town appears to be of that extraction.
No, they don't.
The closest we get is Marisa Tomei, and I think she's Italian.
No, she's not.
Do
She's
you-
not Latin American
The
or Spanish.
the United
No.
States has a lot of Latino, people there, but is there a specific town that is mostly Latinos there? or not?
Well, Miami, it's full of Latinos, but then you also have like the South Texas, like
Yeah.
Mexico, like that whole part used to be part of Mexico.
Okay.
So there's a lot of Latino heritage.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
Like Laredo, I think is a.
I don't know.
That's a.
Sounds Loreto. I mean Loreto. Yes, that sounds like a
I think it's famous or something.
Spanish kind of name.
Yeah.
Yep. So
Hey, here's that piss thing.
we didn't really bring it up earlier. The bikers have split into pairs and they go off to like the millions of towns surrounding their area, and whichever pair finds them has to call them over. And they've already found them, but they're sticking around, and they've been specifically instructed not to hurt them because Jack Ray Liotta wants to be the one to break their bones.
Hence why we're
So
about
they
to
cannot-
see.
Hence why
Hurt
Martin Lawrence, still under the impression that John Travolta scared them
Yes,
with his
that is
words, can do this and not get punished for it immediately.
Oh, he said cracker ass.
Did he
Crack-
just say crack?
They knew it too.
For us fellow Australians out there, cracker is a not really that derogatory term for white people.
Yeah.
Like Luke.
Like me.
Oh well, but you're Italian, so
Yeah, but
You're kind of wide.
I'm
I
kind
guess.
of pretty.
yeah, I wouldn't call
white
you
for a
wog
white
or anything
guy.
like that. Wait, are Italians called wogs?
Yeah,
Wogs?
Okay.
I'm a very
Really?
bad Italian though.
Because when I think wog, I mainly think Greek, but I guess Italians too. Well, Paul Fennick shows they call them chocos.
Yeah.
So what is wog? Why wog? Does it come from like a word or?
You know, I'm gonna have to look that up because
Yeah,
I've been saying it so long I don't remember.
I'm not entirely sure where it comes from, but I think it was once considered really derogatory. But these days, not as much.
Sometimes it can be. As I recall, Simon and Garfunkel released a CD at some point called "Who Let All the Wogs Out in Taylor's Lakes?" And Taylor's Lakes is a suburb, so it was surprisingly Australian. I don't know why they called it that.
Well, I guess with Australian slurs, tone is really important. Like, you could say either the word mate or cunt with the same tone, and it could mean the same thing, or you could use it with an offensive tone, and it'd mean pretty much the same thing.
Oh, that is
Oh.
weird.
Like,
Well, the-
listen, mate!
Apparently, the origin
Yeah.
of the word.
Yeah.
Or like you're such a nice cunt.
Yeah.
Wog is derived from gollywog, and I'm sure you all remember those.
Oh.
Blackface minstrel dolls, very inappropriate.
Oh, so it does have a very similar thing towards... Okay.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
I just like the idea of they're like, alright, let's call them... Oh, golly, well, let's call them Golly.
Golly. Gee golly. It's a beautiful day.
No, that sounds like something William Macy would say in this movie.
William. He will beat shit
I
down.
would beat shit down.
Oh yeah, we were talking about gollywogs and wogs and all that, but what Martin Lawrence just did kind of made them heroes now.
Yeah, by
so they-
spraying ketchup and mustard into like their faces.
So they started off just being the pretty cool visitors who aren't Del Fuegos, and now they are becoming heroes basically. And John Travolta's still shitting himself
Yep.
because he
Yeah.
knows what's coming and no
He
one else
knows.
does.
The storm is going to break on his head.
Yeah.
He's gonna call his wife, which is quite thoughtful.
Yeah. He's actually like the one with the best marriage, I would say.
Yeah, she let him go on this trip.
Yeah, she's really cool.
Yeah.
Here's to the dentist's wife.
The Wrath of Dudley, which
Oh,
probably
no.
isn't very
Yeah.
very hard one.
You know-
the tequila. Huh, here we go.
See,
We keep-
tequila,
huh.
Yes.
Good one, guys.
So yeah, after pretty
Okay.
much the scene where he eats the bad food for him, I don't know. I reckon his family would realistically they'd lay off him a bit there, and
Yeah.
I reckon pretty much he doesn't really have that much going for him that's bad, except for the fact that he's not young anymore. So this
Yeah.
trip, pretty much, I don't think he'd really have any problems at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why didn't he just go home?
Maybe the only thing would be like he's dreading going back to work because he's having a good time, and that'd be about the extent of it. Oh, and Martin Lawrence's wife just found out.
Dudley, don't you want to come inside?
Luke.
Actually, Marisa Tomei is wearing like a really very kind of traditional,
Yeah,
kind
it
of
must
Latin
be
American
because of the.
kind of, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's very.
Thank you, Marissa, for being the only one who seems to be obeying the The custom.
Yeah. Others might call it cultural appropriation, but they're wrong.
Those people are lying. He's got a hidden secret.
I like how they don't acknowledge that his glasses come together at the bridge. Is that what it's called? The part that connects the two lens?
Yeah.
The bridge,
It's as good a word as any.
Yeah, well, whatever you call the part that I just touched on your
Yeah,
glasses.
Bartek just touched my glasses.
Yeah. Like, they never acknowledge it, and it's funny every time it happens, I reckon.
It's okay, William. You're just as ugly if you're a computer programmer.
You could, stand in for Willem Dafoe a bit. Like, when I first watched this movie, I watched it streamed online, and the still shot was after he'd landed in the pool when they were skinny dipping, and I actually thought it was Willem Dafoe, because it just happened to pause at a moment that it looked like him.
They look a lot similar. They're there.
Oh, see?
He looks like he'd be a friendly family friend of your parents or something.
I'm just...
Yeah.
What's the age difference between them, do you think?
She looks really young there.
Yeah, it's probably significant, but... Yeah, I buy it, because it's probably one of the most tender pairings in this movie.
Yeah.
One of the reviews kind
God.
of badmouths it, but otherwise, no problems at all.
Well, those people have no love in their hearts. And so it will...
Yeah, they don't recognize true love when
there weren't as many bad reviews as there were for Old Dogs.
No.
I will admit that.
Those are the best part.
Yeah,
Mayor of this town.
Yeah, we're doing this episode on a bit of short notice, so I didn't look too deeply into the reviews, but I did find a few that work well, I reckon.
Yeah.
And I didn't find 8 this time, I just found 6, and only one of them's long, the rest are pretty brief.
Here we go again, having a tantrum.
Yeah, he's doing his, guys, I don't have a problem, he's about to laugh thing.
Oh, shit.
We could do a drinking game with this, like...
Yeah, every time
a shot every time John Travolta does his turn.
It would be a drinking element to every John Travolta movie this century.
Oh, yeah.
Because even in Old Dogs, he had that scene where he was like suddenly started like
Right?
rapping and acting gangster.
Oh,
like,
God.
Man, this isn't my thing. This is my thing, man.
That hurt.
And it's the only time he does it, once in that movie and then never again. So there's a question, Luke. Who would you rather be friends with, Woody or Charlie?
Which one's Charlie again?
Who's Charlie?
His John Travolta and Old Dogs.
Oh, yes. Right. I'm gonna go with Old Dogs, John Travolta, because he had
Charlie.
He had some semblance of responsibility, whereas this guy appears to be a giant man-child in John Travolta's wrinkly body.
I think I would be inclined to agree with you. His character,
I'm glad you do.
His character very much fits into this movie, but as a person, I would rather hang out with Charlie.
Here comes the dread secret.
Yeah, Charlie can teach us how to be cool.
He did a bad thing.
I like how as soon as he admits it, he goes, ah! He just breaks the tail.
The simultaneous, hands in the
John
air.
Travolta is really good in this scene. He definitely overflows with emotion during his confession.
Here we go.
There
gunfight.
is not a single doubt in our minds that he is pretending or even really acting. I think he's just...
Ray Liotta looks pissed. I think he's angry because he had to do this movie.
Oh, he didn't suffer from doing this movie. Like I said, I think
really
Tim Allen's the only one who didn't get too good after. But Tim Allen's freaking laughing.
No, I think they had a pretty good time making the movie.
Oh, I don't doubt it. And the movie was not a flop financially. It made a lot of money. It's just the reviews were bad.
Surprised they didn't just burn this place down, tit for tat.
Pretty sure this guy is wearing eyeliner.
Yeah.
Well,
Pretty sure.
yeah,
He's channeling Jared Leto.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, he is an older actor who definitely looks younger.
He couldn't hear him.
Yeah, which is funny because he didn't come from his right, he came from his
Yeah.
front.
This is all your fault, John.
Yeah, I feel like Martin Lawrence.
Claudia left me.
Oh.
I feel
You
like
did? Why?
I did. Because he was an asshole.
You're right, he is an asshole.
Yeah, he's not Charlie. He's Woody.
Yeah.
So, like I was saying, Martin Lawrence. I don't know. He really does feel like the one who needed more to work with in this movie.
Yeah.
Like, he had the scene with the mustard and the sauce, but...
And the bull.
And
Let's
the
not
ball.
forget
And
about
the-
Let's
and the
not
ball,
forget
yeah.
that. Ooh.
Yeah.
But you know, William Macy,
That's
he's
the
got...
money shot.
William Macy is the constant recurring, you know, comedic relief and has the romance plot. John Travolta, he's definitely, you know, sort of leading the group because he's got his old ulterior motive. We've got sort of generic-ish main character guy whose life is... He's pretty successful. His family's is kind of mad, but it's going well for him. Martin Lawrence, he's definitely got a good setup, but you don't see enough of his family, which,
Yeah.
you know, like I said earlier, the 3 members that we saw for just that one scene sold it. But his wife is still in the movie. They clearly want to use her more, but she only appeared once in that phone call for the first time in forever, and she's gonna show up again at the end of the movie.
Good.
And yeah, I just feel like he should have had a recurring conflict during this whole trip.
Maybe they'll do it in the sequel.
But you know what? They do say that 3 is the magic number.
I thought 7 was the magic number.
Oh, I mean, like in terms of
a holy man.
you are right. 7 is a holy magic number, but I meant like rule of 3 kind of
Rule of
magic.
3, right.
So 3
right.
appearances, you mean? 3 appearances in the movie, you mean, or?
Oh, I'm more talking about Martin Lawrence himself. Like we make the other 3 stand out a bit more, and yeah, then we got a bit of a fourth wheel. But
Okay.
he, at least we can say that he definitely has a character, and he does
Yeah.
bring something to the group.
Yeah.
All right. William's going down.
What is he doing?
He's going to fight.
Well, he's become a lot.
Oh.
Yeah, he's become a lot braver because he's in love with the woman, and the woman, she said that this bar means everything to her, and
So-
they're threatening to burn it down.
In the name of love. Something, something in the name of love.
Let's end this.
One dude in the name of love.
That's it. Ray is unimpressed.
Brave but stupid.
Brave and stupid, that's always a thing.
Yeah, that's a thing.
You fellas.
One of the Del Fuegos in the back there has Japan on his
You've known her
headband.
for less than a day.
Yeah.
Just saying.
But you know, he's very manly. It's not like he's going to drop that tire iron.
Oh! Quick, grab a beer bottle and smash it. They'll be
Oh, I
fearful
can't.
of it.
If someone's listening to this episode, not watching the movie alongside, I said that line, and then you guys went, "Oh," as if I said something really funny, and they just won't get the joke.
Yeah, the window smashed.
Yeah.
Helping you guys out.
It slipped out of his hand, and he broke a window, so he did mess up. I don't know. I'm honestly curious how many people watch the movie while listening to this.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it's not the easiest thing to do, but
No.
I reckon because I've listened to a few of the episodes because I had to edit them, and they stand out pretty well. I mean, the conversation doesn't rely too heavily on what's going on, and we do explain what's going on a lot.
Well, they only have 30 minutes before Dudley is half the man he used to be.
Yeah, and they mention that one of the things they want is to bring money, which, yeah, for outlaws who don't really pay for anything.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, I mean,
So I guess that's how they do it.
I guess it's really hard to threaten people to, you know, do an entire construction job. Like, alright, go home, have a rest, but you better be back here to continue.
Y'all better.
Don't forget to eat dinner, because you
Dudley.
need that strength to build our bar back.
2 hours. Is this highway patrol? Ah, well, we already know who that's going to be.
Oops. I made a noise.
You fool.
Yeah. Highway Patrol,
Oh, is he coming?
yeah, you say you know who it's gonna be, but, I mean, you're wrong.
Yeah.
Oh, he's
I already mentioned that he's already finished. He's not in the movie anymore.
Oh, he
Too
doesn't
bad.
show up anymore? Oh.
No.
Should've been him.
In fact, when they mentioned Highway Patrol's coming, they're like, no, don't send them because they said that they'll hurt our friend. So,
Ha ha ha. Oh,
Yeah.
God.
I guess it's kind of setting up to something that you think that you know what's going to happen, but no.
Mm.
I guess the movie just says that we've had that character.
Yeah, his story is done.
His story is done, and you know what? We even had Pussycat Dolls singer guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would like to
and
see him
his
again.
story's
Though.
also done. So.
Yeah. From this point on,
It's just focusing on the main characters.
I don't really remember any specific gay jokes coming up. There's just the brotherhood joke of them standing together to, you know,
Yeah.
stand up.
All right, it's beer hero time. Da 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 da.
Don't you know hogs run in packs?
That was so beautiful.
It's sort of an animalization of their group. It's pretty cool. Them and their jackets that Doug's wife sewed the patch on.
Very nice. Okay.
That's a very middle-aged kind of thing. Like, my wife did this for us.
Well,
You told me you liked patches.
shout out to all
She
the
probably
wives.
did it. It's like, oh yes, go so you can play with
Yeah,
your little
go on.
friends. Go on.
Well, she is
Can
the
I have a
supportive one.
firecracker?
Yeah, yeah.
But Woody gets to have firecrackers. Why can't I have a firecracker?
Is that what he says to his son?
Yeah, for the record, his son is still an asshole.
But you know, funny thing is, I mentioned earlier that not Kelly, the black wife, whatever her name was, Karen, I think it was.
Martin
Yeah.
Lawrence's wife, yes.
Yeah, Martin Lawrence's wife, black wife. She's going to show up in this town along with Kelly,
Okay.
and surprisingly, they also bring Doug's son.
Yeah.
It's like, doesn't he have school or anything?
No, he
No, it's like, you are an important part of this family, you have to come too.
plays video games and worries about his dad's diet. That is all he does. Oh, damn, son.
So they just decided to go and get them together
Yeah,
because Martin Lawrence's wife is pissed.
And now they...
Yeah.
Oh, that bike just had a seizure.
Yep.
Oh,
So
and now they're hanging together.
their plan was that, he's just stuck to the rope with duct tape. We can just pull him off while we're driving because we're going super fast. But
Couldn't they have gotten scissors?
yeah,
Yeah, or anything.
it's a pretty
Better
thick
than
rope.
this plan.
It's pretty thick rope. Maybe if it
Broke
was
anyway.
maybe it was like a gardening clippers, maybe that would have worked. But
Yeah.
the idea was that they were going to go really fast and the force would like pull him off.
Ah.
But it didn't work. It became a
Well, bet Buzz
swing.
Bet Buzz Lightyear could have pulled it off.
Another burning out to Marisa Tomei's side.
Yeah, this Tim Allen movie doesn't have him say to infinity and beyond. He said it in
Crime.
Shaggy Dog. And it was then that I remembered, oh yeah, he played Buzz Lightyear.
It's fight time.
Yeah, so this is really where the whole idea of pussification's out the door. Because they pretty much, they want to fight, and even though they don't do well, it's the kind of fight where they take it to an impressive degree.
They do. Like, they don't get killed in the first 5 seconds, which is impressive.
Oh yeah, this movie has a death count of pretty much 3 locusts.
Assume that crow died. Did it fly away, or did it
The
just
crow
hit
flew away, but the locusts, they were dead.
Yeah. Rip in peace.
Oh, he took up the jacket. He's
Oh,
serious.
shit, it's
And
on.
That punch...
That seemed, yeah, it seemed like a really weak punch.
Yeah, but, I mean, he wasn't expecting it, so I guess I could let it slide.
Ooh,
Now,
damn.
now it's getting better.
And for this entire scene, even to the resolution, William Macy's still taped up.
Yeah.
I like this.
Alrighty.
This part's great.
Who's the more dangerous of the two?
Small guy and mimsy guy. But then...
And then the small guys. Oh,
Wow.
Oh
martial
no,
arts.
it's Bruce Lee Chan.
It is the biggest stereotype we've seen the whole movie.
Well, to be fair, he's not speaking English.
Yeah.
And that is a martial arts thing where they do the kind of screams to intimidate.
Yeah.
And I would definitely be intimidated if I was up against
Just
him.
look at that.
And he's down.
Yeah, like, it was still possible that, like, the screams were just, showing off. But no, he did prove that.
Oh my god, he
That
actually
was
got a hit in. Well done.
Yeah, I guess he doesn't really dodge.
Yeah. Oh, you hit his helmet.
Actually, no one in this scene dodges.
Oh, shit, his hand hurts.
Yeah.
This isn't good.
See, leather helmet's not that bad.
Yeah, well, that helmet probably saved his life.
Mm.
Oh, Ray.
He did mention that 60% of road accidents could be, avoided if you just wore a helmet.
Yeah. What a fool.
Man, every single window of that bar's is getting broken.
Yeah.
In different sequences. Like, once when they came, once when he dropped the slipped tire iron, and this scene.
Ah, you're down.
He did the frying pan.
Yeah, maybe it's broken glass representing their broken dreams or something.
Yeah, there's a lot of metaphors in this movie.
I done knocked my own boy, he says.
He must be a bit addled from the fight.
Didn't Jack say that this was going to be a 4-on-4 fight?
Yeah, now it's like 4 plus family.
Like, I mean, it wasn't everyone, but... Like...
Yeah, it was a whole lot.
They clearly brought in, like, a 5th or 6th person just to, like, grapple them down.
John Travolta has nothing, and for this he is willing to die.
Well, he
Oh,
does have
the
one thing,
friendship.
friends. Yeah.
Aw.
Yeah.
We're the 4 best friends that anyone could have.
Hold on, let me just think for a second.
Here comes the real moral of the story.
Mm-hmm.
You know, not Snow Dogs, but every episode you've been on has had a deep theme of friendship.
Oh,
Apart from Snow Dogs, yeah.
Aw.
must be because I've got
You're the
such a big heart.
You're the friendship movie guy.
Yeah.
God damn, these movies are putting me in the friend zone.
Yeah, Luke, I'm sorry, you're in my friend zone.
Yeah, mine too. So sorry.
25 years.
I ain't taking this, and he gets punched in the face.
You're
You know,
down.
Love
the
that.
the funny thing is, in this scene,
He said bitches.
in this scene, the music that is playing isn't really intense. It's sort of whimsical, so it's
Yeah,
almost
right.
like,
Yeah?
oh, you know what? You know, they're getting the shit kicked out of them, but don't take it too seriously. They're gonna be fine, kind of thing.
Okay.
Well,
So,
Maybe it's just like the punches will take them to a higher spiritual level.
I can't remember if it plays
Yeah.
in this part, because in this part it just kind of deserves a bit of epic music, like, yeah, more.
oh, put the glasses back on. Oh, his bridge came
Oh.
apart, like you said.
Yeah, it keeps happening in this
Yeah.
town,
Jesus,
seems.
he's invincible.
Yeah, he's like, you're kidding me, right? But Tim Allen literally just said, hit us all you want, we'll keep getting back up. So,
And they have.
hit all you want. So, I mentioned earlier that there's going to be a Deus Ex Machina kind of resolution to this scene.
Is it
Here
happening
we go.
right now? Oh.
It's a tactical nuke dropped on the town.
Is it happening right
Boom.
now?
Got him.
Oh, the whole town with...
The
what do you
whole-
call that thing?
Implements.
Oh, I know, but like the bat.
Ah,
Yeah,
bat.
baseball bat.
Baseball bats, and one of them has an axe.
Oh,
No one comments
get
on
him.
that.
The he
So it's
made
like-
a Children of the Corn reference.
Oh, so the whole town's gonna fight us? No, you're not gonna beat us. No, oh no, never mind. The town
Whose
doesn't mean anything.
foot
It's this
is
guy.
that?
This guy single-handedly
Why?
resolves everything.
None other than Mr. Blade.
Mm-hmm.
It's my highway.
Yow.
And I believe this is a character from another movie.
Yeah,
making an appearance here.
right? It feels like
I
his
can't-
story is different.
Yeah, I believe he is an actual character from another movie that Peter Fonda played, but I don't know what the movie is. It isn't the Easy Riders, but Peter Fonda was in that movie. Unless that is the character with a different name, but I don't know. So yeah, the movie, the resolution comes at the cost of their idol telling them, no, you know what, you guys
Yeah.
are probably in the wrong.
Go
Yeah,
home,
the
kids.
actual poses are the, you
Yeah.
know, 4 suburban husbands who just decided to ride bikes.
Yeah, so they
Yeah.
called them the posers, but they're the
Let it
4 who are
go,
toughing it out
let
rather
it
than
go.
ganging up with
They
50
are the
people.
real bikers.
Yeah.
It seems the only real biker in this movie is Blade, and everyone else is just a poser.
Yeah.
Well, Blade.
I think
Yeah,
so, too.
well, the idea is that, like, no matter what, Blade is the prototypical one that they want to aspire to be.
Oh, that's his daddo.
Aww.
Hmm.
That's why he had to come give his boy a tongue lashing.
And you know what? He didn't beat him or anything.
Yeah. Oh my god, they're
so.
just...
That means
Goodbye.
like he has a lot of power.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Video games.
Yeah, that's a callback to a bit earlier where he was like, we were trained to become, like, police sheriffs by playing Doom.
Yeah, that's actually funny.
Yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, this movie, it shows that not everything needs to be resolved with violence, even though it is a biker movie that explores what a biker is.
Yeah.
They're,
And
they're
there
not,
was a violent scene, but
they're not the 1% bikers, you know, they're the 99%
Yeah,
bikers. The
right.
ones who are law-abiding citizens.
Hell's Angels. No, Hell's Satans.
I don't
Hell's
know.
Angels.
I don't know
Yeah.
which
No,
ones
like,
are
if we're
1%.
talking about them being posers, they're Hell's Satans.
Well, whatever. The whole, you know what 1%er means, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're not that kind of biker. It kind of looks at the law-abiding 99% bikers,
Yeah.
and it shows that you can still be tough without needing to be violent.
Yeah.
I mean, sure, in this
Okay.
case, they're being tough by being exposed to violence, but
Here we go.
here's a different kind of being exposed to
and
something.
here
Shut up,
comes Martin Lawrence's wife.
Yes,
Just
this is
yelling the shit out.
this is the ultimate scene of his character arc where he stands up for himself.
It reminds me of The Hangover when Ed Helms like has this really like naggy
Yeah.
girlfriend, and then he's like, "No, I'm gonna go marry a stripper instead."
Yeah. Oh my god, the parallels are insane.
Mm-hmm.
Karen, yes, I was right.
Yeah. We should have called her Karen throughout the whole
Slow your roll, whatever that means.
Baby, I love you.
Every day.
Black love.
Jesus Christ.
Oh my god, Bartek.
You feel me? Yeah, I feel you.
Aw. There we go.
Okay, fine. This is awful. Oh god, this is awful.
No, it's not awful. It's scrumptious.
So that's just
No.
all it took.
And here's the little Michael Cera kid. He does look a bit like Michael.
Oh god, it must be him or his clone.
No, Michael Cera was in Superbad around this
He
time.
gotta tell the guys about this.
Yeah, no, he's cuter than Michael Cera.
Ugh.
Michael Cera's like a skeleton. I don't know.
Yeah, no, he does look a bit like an elf that got involved in an industrial accident.
Yes, I
And-
know that.
Got kind of fucked up.
For the rest of this episode, do your Michael Cera impression.
Yes.
I don't
Good. I've never heard of. I've never heard of.
Should I do it then?
Yes.
Yeah, please.
Well, okay. Well, you know, there. We'll just keep watching the movie. Yeah. Hey.
Sounds more like Mickey Mouse's younger brother.
What?
Uh,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
oh, he's riding out of town because he's a drifter.
Hang on. I'm just gonna eat a cookie a bit.
Yeah, eat your fucking cookie. It's been there the whole time.
Yeah. Okay.
Damn you.
Yeah, you're right. The shirt you're wearing is actually really nice, Claudia. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank
Okay,
you
I'm
very much.
done.
Alright, good.
I watched the video yesterday, Michael Cera School of Acting, so I was just...
Oh, that's why you're like in a Michael Cera movie.
No,
You're
well, the
standing on the wrong side.
kid reminded me of Michael Cera for some reason. But that kid actually does emote a bit more. Little foreshadowing, we are planning to do Year 1 at some point.
Oh, yeah. That's got Jack Black in it also.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and here we go.
Ready
And
to go right now.
And-
West Ghost.
and Macy has a goodbye scene with his missus that, once again, is very bikery. Like, we talked over it clearly, but
Yeah.
he's like, when are you going to come back to town? He's like, oh, maybe a
biker.
couple of months, couple of weeks. And then he's like, settles on like 6 days
6
and 11
days.
hours.
Something hours. Minutes.
Oh, and he crashed one more time.
Ah.
There
But-
it is.
Good one.
But this
Will.
is not the end of the arc of him having accidents.
Really?
Really?
No, this is not the end, because for some reason, the movie doesn't end with happy ending, yay, we're leaving town. It ends with, hey guys, let's go to California.
Yeah.
And
why
then
not?
end the movie.
There they are.
And yeah, that's literally the rest of the movie. I don't
Wow.
even know if there's any dialogue apart from in the credits.
Well, either way,
It's
get
just-
some nice closing shots.
Just,
It's just-
writing.
Because we were stuck, plot-wise, we were stuck in that town for quite a while.
Yeah.
So we didn't get too much more cinematography. So you...
They must have had a low budget.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you get... Well, low budget, this is what I'm saying right now.
Yeah.
So let's end the movie with some more shots, and then let's go to, California, a beach at California, and look at bikini babes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, because you cannot have ugly people in California.
Look, there's a shot here where they look to the left, and the camera's moving, and there are bikini girls looking at them and smiling.
Wow.
And then later on, we're going to have a shot where it looks to the left, there are bikini girls and smiling at them. And, there's a lot of good...
Oh, they're holding hands.
Yeah, there are and look here we have a shot where they're looking left and the bikini girls are smiling at them.
Again?
There's a lot of variety here. And look at this.
And oh shit!
Remember what I said? This isn't the end of his arc of crashing.
This is not a good way to make a first impression.
Wait a second. They do something different this time.
Uh,
In this scene, William H. Macy is the only one who doesn't crash.
Shit! Take that.
Okay, that was
Good.
Yeah, that was really good.
Yeah, good laugh. Schadenfreude.
Okay, so there was a bit more dialogue. And now we have the amazing credit scene.
X.
Oh,
Yes.
Extreme Makeover Home Edition.
Is that who I think it is?
Who is it?
I don't know.
I don't know, but I think that is a guy who's doing his actual show,
Maybe.
so to speak, at the end of this movie. And who's lost their home and their history, guys, in this movie?
Oh, we know.
Oh.
I think we know.
From the fide.
Del Fuego family.
I bet they're so happy to be
Ray
here.
Liotta.
Oh.
Ray Liotta in this scene is amazing.
Yeah,
he
look at
gives
his
a
face.
really emotional performance.
He wants to be anywhere but here.
Yeah, I don't really want to talk too much over this because I want to pay more attention to it because it's that great. So basically, we have the Wild Hogs, and they decided that they don't dislike the Del Fuegos, so they're gonna help give them something that they've been missing. And as soon as this huge bus gets out of the way so we can see the sign that says 200 miles to the next gas station, we see... Wow. We see...
Oh, wow, that guy's excited.
Oh, he's gonna cry.
A
Del
new
Fuego.
bar.
A new bar.
It looks a lot better than the old one.
Look at this.
He is wearing eyeliner.
He
I
does-
told you.
He's not saying a word. He doesn't show a smile, but you can tell
You can
from his
tell.
hand movements.
Oh,
He's
there.
whimpering.
There's that pout. Yeah. There's that pout.
This is...
Oh, a guy who
The
wants
guy
cold
with the
piece.
huge mouth. He's just so excited.
Yeah. See, these guys have hearts. Cool. A parking lot made of real leather. Jesus Christ.
Guy faints.
Oh, this is great.
Oh.
Guy gets hit in the head.
Yeah.
Ray Liotta's still downplaying his reaction. I felt homeless.
When his home burnt down. Jeez.
They
what a reaction.
really were from the place that got on
Yeah,
fire.
They have been born of fire.
This is great, isn't it?
Yeah, this is heartwarming.
They really didn't have a home.
they-
got
Look,
broken.
Billy Madison.
Oh.
Like
Yeah.
Billy Madison.
We,
Yeah,
we,
Highway
we still
Patrol.
have yet to have an
Yeah.
Adam Sandler
Oh.
appearance on this show, yeah.
Oh,
We
I
love
look
our
forward
bar.
to that.
Thanks, America.
Ah, yeah, woo.
We did it.
Hey, really tiny biker has a name. Arnold Chon.
Huh.
And the movie ends with them having a what cheers? What do you call it again? Toast.
Cheers? Toast.
They have a
Toast.
toast and
A
say
toast.
"Wild Hogs,"
Woo!
as if saying "Wild Hogs," and then bowing and saying "Thank you for watching the
Thank you
movie."
for coming.
Yeah.
It's been great.
Guys, we've come to the end of the movie, so I think it's time to give our final thoughts.
Okay, final
Would you
thoughts.
like to go first, Claudia?
No.
All right, I'll go
Luke,
first.
you have to go first
Okay.
then.
I'm going to lay some truth words down on y'all. This was an ultimate didactic tale. It has a lesson for everyone, whether you're young, old, white, or black, or even that bull who got slapped on the ass. You see, we are all feel out of place, out of time, some of the time. But ultimately, you can find whatever it is that gave you life when you were younger. Whatever passions you might have pursued, you can find them again. But never forget, you can't repeat the past. So find that nice, pleasant balance between the two, and your life will be better for it. So I give this movie an oink out of Bow Wow.
Fantastic. It's not Dog Month, but you still got the dog spirit in you.
I tied pig and dog together into a glorious union.
And it is very important. Would you like to go next, or should I go next?
Oh, I'm sure. I think like the moral of this story is mostly like whether you feel bored or unhappy with your life, just go on a road trip with your friends. You'll feel so much better. And it's always funny to see somebody getting fucked up by a bull.
Here, here.
Yes.
Yes. Would you give it a rating? You don't have to give it a number rating. You can give it a sound rating. You can give it a... the rating from your heart is what we would like. Do you have
Can I
anything
do
like
a
that?
Team 10 rating?
You what?
Can
Sorry?
I do a Team 10 rating?
Okay, sure.
I
Do
would
it.
give it... How many packs? I think it's like 10. I would give it like 8 Team 10s out of 10.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Once again, we have a review that gives basically over 100%.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so now my thoughts on this movie. I could definitely see what Old Dogs took from this movie. This movie right here did also focus on friendship, much like Old Dogs, but whereas this one had a group dynamic, and we did mention that Martin Lawrence kind of did feel a little out of place because he didn't have as much of a plot going on during the road trip. It was more like his outside family life and then thinking about that and getting angry at a potential black joke or
Yeah.
or being told that the plural of cactus is cacti
Cacti.
and wanting to beat the
Information
crap
for
out
you.
of William Macy. Both of those situations I just mentioned, William Macy was the one who kind of egged him on.
Getting yelled at by his wife.
Yeah.
Getting yelled at by his wife. Old Dog certainly didn't have that because the wife went to jail for 2 weeks.
Which is a story in itself.
It kind of just all jumps back to the whole thing that we talk about in Kangaroo Jack. This movie really is a tale of friendship, and it is told through biking
Yeah.
It really looks at the biker spirit. I've always been interested in the kind of delinquentish culture. This movie didn't really have main characters who were delinquents. They were ones who were inspired to relive their youth through emulating the delinquent culture.
Yeah.
And the ending of the movie where... I almost call him David Spade. David Blade comes in and tells the people who actually are bikers 24/7 that, you know what? These guys, these quote-unquote posers' attitudes are the ones that are truly, truly the ones that represent the biker spirit that he has forged, pioneered, and everyone is inspired by. And I don't think there's any better message I could say that this movie has. Because I don't think I'm equipped to deal with everything this movie could have.
Yeah.
And also, I like the guy who sang the Pussycat Dolls songs.
Yeah, shout out.
Rock
That's
on,
awesome.
man. I give this movie a pushing up my buttons, babe, out of a don't you know my girlfriend was hot like we. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's gospel truth.
Yes. So now we come to the reviews section, and Jesus Christ, this first one's really long. I actually have to zoom in.
Yeah. Everyone strap yourselves in.
Oh god, we got
Oh,
people
that is-
talking outside our room.
Yeah. Sorry,
Oh, well.
guys. You may discover things you don't want to know.
Oh well. The first review is called "It's No American Beauty" or sideways in terms of middle-age crisis theme. Then again, that is a good thing. Ellipses. And this review is an 8-star review.
Alright.
So very nice. This review, I remember when I found it, pretty much summarizes everything we've had to say about it. So we're starting off with the longest one, and the one that pretty much agrees with us. So the rest of them will be a bit different. Alright, and this review is from 2007. To compare Wild Hogs to comedic greats and classic movies about midlife crisis would be absolutely foolish. Sitting back and enjoying the wild ride is your best choice in getting the full enjoyment out of this flick. Containing a diverse cast that works quite well, a handful of funny cameos, tons of predictable yet enjoyable scenarios, and a rather surprising amount of physical humour, Wild Hogs is a startlingly
That's a word.
delightful comedy that isn't afraid to reach low for a laugh. And that can be admirable. Most of the time that would be like a downfall of a movie, going for low humour. But this movie, no. Coming off as more than just a guilty pleasure, we have good acting running the show, as our longtime cinema veterans mesh together and bring out their best comedic skills to deliver a nice trip through the United States. Wild Hogs follows 4 middle-aged men losing excitement, among other things, in their daily aspects of life. Doug, Tim Allen, isn't the fun guy he used to be. Bobby, Martin Lawrence, is not able to run his home. Woody, John Travolta, has lost pretty much everything, and Dudley, William H. Macy, has nothing to begin with.
Oof.
The 4 of them decide to take their boring lives out for a spin and try to relive the glory days of college, ride off in their motorbikes across the country. The main conflict is whether or not they can unleash the wild hogs in them and be able to reach California in one piece. The other problem arises when the well-known tough biker gang Del Fuegos crosses paths with them. The premise is something we've all seen before, yet it can still be done well with the right group of people. Mixing Travolta, Martin Lawrence, Tim Allen and William H. Macy is something that truly would not and could not have been predicted by anyone. Nonetheless, this unique quartet does a fantastic job. Not one actor is overused or overacting, and we see each of the actors' talents brought to life. Tim Allen puts his physical humour to the test and succeeds. John Travolta brings his comedic chops and also is shockingly hilarious. Martin Lawrence has his good movies, Nothing to Lose being one of them, and his really bad movies, Black Knight, Big Mama's House 2. But in here, he doesn't go too far, doesn't attempt too hard, and holds his own as the uncertain Bobby. Topping them all is William H. Macy,
Yes.
whose physical comedy tops all the others in this movie.
Hell yes.
That's redundant. Rounding out the cast is an assortment of cameos and short roles that, despite being good, were quite underused. Marisa Tomei, Stephen Tobolowsky, Ray Liotta, John C. McGinley, Peter Fonda. Those
Yep.
are the bracketed examples. The laughs in here are present pretty much throughout the film, and it ranges from funny little one-liners to physical comedy to lowbrow comedy to even a bit of absurdity. A bit of it is predictable, yet some of it comes flying out of nowhere, literally and figuratively. Oh, he's referring to the bird.
Ah.
We have a nice bit of cinematography to capture some of it, including a nice shot of death taking a liking to William H. Macy, and a brilliant and a brilliant game of bull slapping. The director Walt Becker knows better and lets the camera roll, and the actors take control of what is going on. He was fortunate enough to capture the fun and silliness with little effort. We don't have Oscar material in the least bit, but we have material that will spark laughing riots from the audience time and time again. Like most decent comedies of this decade, it's best not to be taken seriously, because analysing and nitpicking would distract from the overall experience. Like what characters in the film originally wanted, it was a trip with no rules, no barriers, no remorse. Wild Hogs does just that. It was a raw, strong PG-13 ride with the violence, sex, profanity, and look-away moments that anyone on the open road would witness.
Wait, where was the sex?
There wasn't any.
There was no sex.
Well, you see, also supporting this movie is a nice soundtrack, cleverly adding some good southern rock, Bon Jovi, AC/DC, and even White Zombie.
No mention of Pussycat Dolls.
Well, it had a guy singing Pussy. It was a cover. Try to catch some subtle Disney humour involving the actors' characters' names. You know, Buzz and Woody. Bottom line, so what if the script isn't groundbreaking? So what if the direction didn't enhance anything? So what if the story became a bit predictable? We have 4 veteran actors making fools of themselves for almost 2 hours on the open road, and with very little time in between potential laughs. It was just pure popcorn entertainment, and isn't that what you want on a Friday night?
I guess.
Wild Hogs will not inspire you to do something. But it will inspire some conversations and maybe even a second viewing. Besides, it is rare to see Tim Allen and Martin Lawrence provide a slew of funny moments. While this movie could have benefited from fewer cliches and more unpredictability, it still stands tall as the first good comedy of 2007.
Okay.
That's the review,
That's
and just a reminder, it was 8 stars.
Goodness me.
The rest of them, they're much shorter. Alright. Wild Hog Laughter. 9 out of 10 stars, also from 2007. Critics have been panning Wild Hogs in their writings. I have read a lot of negative response from the same goofballs that have promoted some very bad movies. Sometimes I wonder if they are on certain payrolls to give certain vote towards a movie.
Illuminati.
I just want to state that Spin Bulge, we're not getting paid at all. So our opinions are completely our own. With that said, Wild Hogs is absolutely wonderful. In today's day of poor comedies, see anything starring Will Ferrell, for example.
Don't know who that is.
Spelt Farrell instead of
No,
Oh,
Will
actually
Ferrell.
Farrell.
Yeah, they misspelt it.
Or like Pharrell Williams.
No, they meant Will Ferrell, but they wrote Will Ferrell.
No, I don't like Will Ferrell.
Which, by the way, I like his movies, so... That do not produce a laugh or a smirk. Wild Hogs is a breath of fresh air. I have lately been happy if a movie has at least one good laugh to feel like my admission fee was worth spending. And in today's movie world, most movies are one-joke wonders. Wild Hogs is a throwback to the days of My Cousin Vinny, Airplane, and Young Frankenstein.
Whoa, what?
Hey, I don't know. This movie was filled with laughs and good gags. The movie starts off slow and is reminiscent of a couple of failed Tim Allen projects, Shaggy Dog and Zoom. That's what he says, but you know, he's wrong about Shaggy Dog.
Yes.
But after about 15 minutes, it shifts gear and becomes a wonderful comedy well worth spending the admission fee. If you want to have a good laugh and enjoy yourself, see Wild Hogs.
Alright.
So he mentioned Airplane, but I remember we brought up Airplane a few times in Old Dogs, so clearly there is something in Walt Becker's direction that makes us think of Airplane.
I guess so.
Which is only a good thing, because that's a great movie. Alright. The next review is called Maybe Here and There a Bit of a Play, but it was sure funny. 8 out of 10 stars, also from 2007. 4 guys in their late 40s, probably more early 50s, ellipses, winky smiley face, go through their midlife crisis. No matter if loving, nagging, or no wife, life is just not what it used to be, or ever was. Adventures are searched for, and John Travolta, not acting his best in this movie, has the saving idea for his buddies. A real road trip on the bikes instead of their usual short trip to a biker bar once a week. Like in City Slickers, the men have to go through some adventures and become heroes before they emerge with new energy to battle the next years of getting older. However, the adventures these guys have on their trip are hilarious. The end slows down a bit with its predictability, but the movie is very entertaining, funny, and the ticket money well worth.
And that's all you want, really.
Yeah. The next review is called Absolute Garbage.
Oh, here we go.
It is 3 out of 10, and it is also from 2007.
Okay.
Alright, this is prefaced with, this review may contain spoilers.
Kind of that.
Alright, and then it opens up with brackets, spoilers.
Again.
Wild Hogs was your typical quasi-funny movie that flames out at the end.
I see what they did
Oh,
there.
this movie's from the Flames.
Ah.
This movie started off decently, hovering at least in the 5-6 area of scoring. The first half was decent, but was nothing to be proud of. The only funny parts are really in the beginning, such as when Macy's computer accidentally goes onto porn. After that, the movie started to go downhill a little, and still delivered. I can admit that. For a movie that has a guy crapping into a plastic bag, I did laugh at parts in the beginning. Then, the wild hogs meet the other bikers and it was all over. The freaking explosion in back of them looked like a nuclear bomb. I was hoping that
That's their complaint.
I was hoping that the Del Fuego idiots were being roasted just to get their bad over-the-top acting. Sorry, let me...
Is that the sentence?
No, hold on. I was hoping that the Del Fuego idiots were being roasted just to get rid of their bad over-the-top acting. Okay, that was my mistake. Instead, they of course have to come back and torture us some more. After this, the movie became dry and boring. You will look at the clock every 2 seconds. John Travolta becomes unbelievably annoying, and stock characters jump out of the woods like a Vietnamese ambush.
That is excellent.
I think that's a Vietnam joke. What the hell does this have to do with Vietnam? In review, Wild Hogs is more like a G movie. The Wild West town that they went to was more like a cartoon where Yosemite Sam would jump out and fire his revolvers in the air. Yeah, that was a very Wild West town. Yeah, you remember it had the saloon, it had the bar doors, it wasn't made of glass or anything.
I would say it was more of a southern town, but...
Yeah. Ending. The ending was absolute garbage.
Oof.
It wasn't even remotely interesting, and the fact that both of the men's families found them without even knowing where they were and the fact that both of the men's families found them without even knowing where they were is the same black hole that ate Tim Allen and John Travolta's careers.
What? You mean people finding them somehow? That's what ate his career. Okay.
Hold on, I'm going to read that whole sentence again.
The black hole doesn't make any sense.
It wasn't even remotely interesting, and the fact that both of the men's families found them without even knowing where they were is the same black hole that ate Tim Allen and John Travolta's careers.
So, like, that fact is a black hole, and that black hole ate their career. I don't...
Oh, God, I'm just gonna move on.
Yeah.
Bye.
Of course, this is one of those stupid movies where the characters find themselves at the end. Oh no, a resolution.
Oh, we can't have that.
God.
Lawrence finds his grapes. Tim Allen feels good about himself. Travolta's life still sucks, and Macy gets the girl, and in brackets, who he promptly leaves to never return. Wild Hogs is a horrible movie that should be stuffed into your local incinerator and set to a fast burn. 3 out of 10. Somewhat funny, but boring in the second half. I wouldn't recommend it.
Wow.
Well, he's right. Lawrence did find his grapes.
I feel... Yeah, he did.
Yeah. And he is actually right. John Travolta's life still sucked.
Yep.
Because nothing changed.
Yeah, but at least the trip was fun, I guess.
Yeah. He
Alright.
was with his friends.
Second last review, and it's called Cartoonish. 2 out of 10 stars, also from 2007, and also, this review may contain spoilers as prefaced. I was recently talked into going to see this movie by my girlfriend, and I must say that it was a disappointment to say the least. This movie reminded me of a live-action cartoon. with all of the old pratfalls, bathroom humour, and homosexual innuendos and humour that we have all seen a million times before.
It's true.
Yeah.
Clear's throat. That was me. The
Oh, I
characters,
thought it was the review.
the characters
That'd be weird.
portray every stereotype of men in middle age. Brackets, wives that boss them around, kids who think they are lame, not being allowed to eat anything but lettuce, etc., etc., etc. The script seemed like it was written by a 12-year-old and the jokes were very stale and unfunny. The fact that this movie has been #1 in the country for several weeks running only illustrates the lack of anything decent in theatres. This movie did feature a great cast, including a few nice cameos, but even that couldn't save this film. If you're looking for mindless humour and a predictable script, go and see this mess. Otherwise, save your money.
Well, I think I'm going to spend my money on lunch.
Okay, and now we've got the very last review, and... hang on a second... And,
You're experiencing technical difficulties.
there we go.
Alright.
Alright, and the review is called Wild Hogs! With 2 exclamation marks.
Oh,
10
so we
out
know
of
what the
10.
movie's called.
10 out of 10 stars, and it's from 2014. Yes! Wild Hogs. What can I say? A modern film about people's loves for bikes, and not many others out there. I really enjoyed this film, as there were a lot of laughs and a few moments of tension. Drew me in from the start. Good acting was key to this film being a success, and they nailed it. I would love to see a sequel to Wild Hogs, as this one was a great success. Same sort of humour as The Hangover and Horrible Bosses. I rated this film 10 out of 10, as it had a hell of a lot of laughs, a great storyline, and a passion for bikes. Quality movie.
Yeah, it
ellipses.
just trails off.
Quality movie.
movie.
Yeah. So the parts where I was speaking really loudly was the sentences that ended with an exclamation mark.
This person is
And
contrast between enthusiasm
No
and
regard
quietude.
to capital letters at all.
Yeah.
True, but he loves bikes, and this movie loved bikes, so he's very happy.
He's very excited.
I don't know. It had bikes in it.
Okay, for all intents and purposes, we are done with this movie. Is there anything else, this episode I mean, is there anything else that you guys would like to say?
Before we go, I'd just like to say that next time I'm on here, you know, if all goes well, hopefully John Travolta will not be in that movie.
Yes, and hopefully Ryan will get to make fun of you again.
Yeah, the good old days.
Claudia, anything you'd like to say?
No, I've had a lot of fun, so thank you for having me. And
Thank you for coming on.
I will listen to your podcast when I'm back home.
Pleasure to have had you. Alright everyone, this has been Luke and Polish presents Unappreciated Masterpieces. I have been Bartek,
I have been Luke.
I have been Claudia.
and we want to tell you that you should remember to be a biker, it's fun to stay alive, and be good to each other.
Yeah, be excellent to each
just
other.
have fun.
Yeah. Or not.